where they actually call elections. So if the people can actually call an election and have it soon, like we have to wait 2 years for national elections, 4 years for the presidential election. No matter how bad of a job your prospective president may be doing, if you're a Republican, you got to sit there and wait till Biden is done, no matter how shitty of a job you think he may be doing. And the same thing in reverse is you got to sit there and wait until President Trump is gone if you're on the right, no matter how bad of a job you may think he may be doing. So I wish we could call elections. I wish we could do that in this country. I don't know what type of new laws and legislation are going to come out of Trump's presidency, but I absolutely believe, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that once President Trump is no longer in office, you will get bipartisan support in regards to new laws to prevent a future president from doing some of the things that President Trump has done. Certainly when it comes to starting a war. I think they're going to probably pass legislation to prevent what we have done on the Iran war at the urging of one person, because Trump, the Iran war is Trump's by himself. He did that all by himself, from start to the point we're at now. I do believe you will get bipartisan support once Trump is out of the picture, and both Congress and the Senate are not frightened on both sides of the aisle. They will agree we cannot let one man drag us into something this significant ever again. And there's a host of other things I think Trump has done based on a one-man aspect that I think you'll get bipartisan support from both sides of the aisle to prevent it from ever happening again. So we'll see. But that's in the future. And I see in the comments, Leonard Watkins says too late. Well, it's not too late if we do not cease to be a nation. I mean, let's say no matter how the Iran war turns out, this can be done again by another president in the future if we don't pass some sort of law to prevent it. So, yeah, I do believe that you'll get both sides of the aisle saying once Trump is gone, we cannot let that happen again. My opinion, I know a lot of my beloved MAGA, I have to hold up the hat. My beloved MAGA believes that the charges on Trump were a witch hunt. I'm not here to debate that. But I do believe you will get bipartisan support going forward that no president that is currently dealing with criminal charges, ongoing trials, and things like that can run for office. I think that's another bipartisan aspect going forward that no president will ever be able to do after Trump, is that if you got multiple felonies or you have been charged with a felony and you have a trial in the future, you have to clear that up before you can run. I do believe you will get bipartisan support for that because the average job in America is already that way. If you're applying for a job and your prospective employer asks about your criminal history and you say, well, I don't have any criminal history of sorts, but I have been indicted on some felonies, and there's a case I got to deal with coming up. That employer is going to tell you, well, you have to, unfortunately, get acquitted or charges dropped on that before we can employ you. That's going to happen in 99.9% of employment situations. Having a president be able to do that while that's ongoing, that is something you're going to get bipartisan support going forward, that I don't think either the right or left are going to want future presidents to have felonies and felony cases pending and still be able to run for office. They'll just probably pass a law that if you have that going on, you are disqualified from running for office. So, and I do believe there's a bunch of those other, I mean, Trump has pushed the envelope in so many ways. The Qatar jet, I'm certain bipartisan support that taking a gift from a foreign nation that is worth that much money, bipartisan support will say you cannot do that. I can tell you everything that I just said right now. If we could go back 15 years before Trump came down the golden escalator and have somebody propose the stuff I just said, you would get bipartisan support. Yeah, of course we don't want somebody to be able to take a jet. Of course we don't want a felon to be able to run. You would get bipartisan support. But right now, because of Trump, some folks are fearful. I understand that, but you will see that in the future. You can't just accept exceptionally valuable gifts from foreign countries. Another one being, you can't use it in place of Air Force One either. You know, the Air Force One should be from start to finish built in America by Americans, period. Every single thing about it, it should have the entire chain of custody should be American. It should never have been owned by a foreign entity, period. There's no reason. We got one of the largest aircraft manufacturers in the world in this country. Why are you buying a jet from them? Yes, it's a Boeing that they bought from us and then they had it there. But in terms of chain of custody, no, that should not be allowed. And I do believe that you'll get bipartisan support. And there's a bunch of other things, but I do want to get into the show. Forever C10 says, what up, big dog? Bring on the knowledge, wisdom, and good times. Wow. That comes along with it. Well, when it comes to knowledge and wisdom, Forever C10, I always take the role of modesty. That's what you folks are here for. I'm not a know-it-all. Yes, I know a few things, but a lot of you folks are significantly more educated than me or other guests. None of us are a know-it-all. That's why we all meet here and exchange ideas. That's how we all progress educationally as the show goes on. Also in the comments, Handsome Conservative says, how do I feel about the upcoming elections? Can't wait to see the puppets dance. Damn. I would love to know who is represented by the puppets. So getting into the show, tap the screen, get us up to 10,000. If you're watching us on YouTube, I need you folks to show the program some love. Smash that like button. Doesn't cost you anything. Whole bunch of topics. This is Weekend Review. And, of course, you guys, as always, will likely add topics to the show as well. But I do want to ask you guys one thing right off the bat. What are the chances? Now, I asked this question before, but I'm going to ask a different version of it. I asked, would you ever vote for a Muslim as president? A lot of folks said no. Handsome conservatives said, they believe in a false God. A lot of people have different reasons that they would not vote for a Muslim. Others cited Sharia law, some cited terrorism, et cetera, et cetera. But I did ask, would you vote for a Muslim as president? And many folks said no. Well, I'm going to ask this time, what about a member of the LGBTQ community, someone that was gay, lesbian, bisexual, openly gay, openly lesbian, openly transsexual, openly bisexual? Well, they didn't mind telling you that. Would you vote at the national level for someone that is a member of the LGBTQ community? And I'm talking about from a standpoint of they don't mind telling you that. I'm asking that question because I think we may see another visit from someone that actually is well known and open about being gay, that being Pete Buttigieg, former South Bend, Indiana mayor.
A big issue in the midterms will be, why did so many congressional Republicans vote to cut Medicaid while they were giving tax cuts?
Now, he was on, this clip started up early, but I do want you to hear this. He's been, I'm asking this. Now, you guys, if you guys watch the show, you already know I stated the Democrats, if they elect somebody, that person needs to be straight, white, Christian, and male. A lot of folks don't want a woman. A lot of folks do not want a non-Christian. A lot of folks do not want someone that is not straight. Pete Buttigieg, so he's outside of what I suggested we need. But I'm asking about him for one simple fact. Unlike Kamala Harris, who wouldn't go on the Pot Bros shows like Rogan and some of those shows, this guy is all over Fox News. Buttigieg going into the den of the enemy. He has no problem going on Fox and challenging them openly, often.
This man went on Fox News and absolutely cooked Trump and Republicans.
This president took office promising that he was going to make life more affordable on day one.
So vote Trump and your incomes will soar, your net worth will skyrocket, your energy costs and grocery prices will come tumbling down. We will end inflation and make America affordable again. It's not affordable.
He said grocery prices would go down. They've gone up. Energy prices are up while he's killing utility projects that would create more energy generation. Obviously, we're really in a painful place as a country right now on healthcare, where a big issue in the midterms will be why did so many congressional Republicans vote to cut Medicaid while they were giving tax cuts to some of the wealthiest Americans?
I think the president's response would likely be that the Biden era high of inflation was 11%. I brought it down to 2.7%.
What?
Bro, and I'm not going to go into the opinions about a creator of this piece, but I got to give a shout out to Buttigieg for the simple fact that he does not mind going into the lion's den. There's all sorts of clips of him on Fox News. He's on Fox a lot. That's not something most liberal candidates do. And somebody in the comments asked me a really good question. AV3896 says, you think Pete Buttigieg is better than Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC? Yes. Yes, I do. For the simple fact that I believe that he's more of a moderate. I believe he checks off more boxes to a larger amount of folks than AOC would be. And I mean, AOC being considered as far left radical, she's promoting socialism. The only drawback of Buttigieg is him being gay. That's the only drawback, is that he is gay. Because he is very moderate in his positions. He's not an extremist on any level at all, other than the fact that there is a significant amount of homophobia in existence. And some folks simply believe that allowing two men to marry is an extreme position. And I'm not going to just pin that on the right, because Pete Buttigieg did horrible with the African-American vote as well. There's a lot of intolerance. I know you folks on the show, I got a lot of African-American viewers, a lot of folks a lot of my left-wing black viewers talk about racism all the time amongst what. There's a lot of intolerant black people. There's a lot of intolerant black people when it comes to the LGBTQ community and women being in charge. There's a hell of a lot of African-Americans that do not want a woman as president, which is likely why President Trump, and it's mostly men, by the way, which is likely why President Trump did better with black males or better yet, Kamala Harris did worse with black males than Biden did. So there is a lot of intolerance from the African-American community as well, despite them always, or us always pointing out from other groups. But Pete Buttigieg did not do well among the African-Americans. So that could be a problem, but I do believe it's a good question you asked there about AOC, but I do believe he would get more votes than AOC from a larger group of folks. Because the AOC, the socialist crowd, they're doing exceptionally well with the younger voters, but younger voters don't always show up to vote, kind of like with Bernie Sanders. But the Gen X, the millennials, the more responsible millennials, the Gen Xers, and beyond the baby boomers, they're not going to go with AOC as much as they would go with someone like Buttigieg. And he's a veteran as well. I mean, he just checks off a lot of boxes other than being gay. If he was straight, I might suggest he is it. Anyway, continuing on before we get 80% of black males voted for Kamala. Your math is wrong, Tim. 80%. The point I'm making is Trump improved his outcome with black males. From Biden to Kamala, black males, he did better among black males. Trump did. How the hell that happened? You would assume with a black woman, the African-American vote for Kamala Harris, you would have assumed, considering that Trump was starting to not only go further right, but he was even saying a lot of anti-minority stuff in the eyes of the minority community. You would assume that she would have got just as high of a vote total from black men as she got from black women. But she did significantly better with black women than black men. Explain that. Are you trying to deny that there's not a lot of LGBTQ and sexism among African Americans? Are you denying that? Let me know in the comments. Going back to the box, if conservatives give up, if conservatives gave up gay and abortion and were less racist, Dems would never win again. AOC ain't marrying to hide money funneled through their partner. You're saying it, well, look, I would agree with you in regards to suggesting that if now you say if conservatives gave up gay and abortion and were less racist, let's just sum it up. If you, based on what you're saying, I would sum it up by saying if there was less hate among conservative circles, they would do better with minority communities. I agree with that. I do agree with that. I don't agree in suggesting the Dems would never win again, though, because healthcare, minimum wage increase, social programs, all of that stuff that the right is against, that stuff means a lot. That stuff means a lot to a lot of voters, and I think the Dems could do very well on that. Let me go to the box. Are we at 10,000? Tap the screen, get the likes. We take the first caller at 10,000. In addition to Buttigieg, remember, speaking of Kamala Harris, remember she was DEI? She got the position because she didn't earn it. Folks saying that there's no way that Biden should have just gave her the position as the Democrat nominee. Didn't earn it. That's what you heard often. Some folks even went as far as saying she slept her way to the top, all this other shit. I want to give you an individual, and I'm wondering why the same outcry is not being made here. This is Megyn Kelly, and make no mistake about it, to me, if you're going to say that Kamala Harris with her resume was not qualified, why doesn't it apply in this case?
They had a debate last night. This is two Republicans, Darlene and this guy Norman. And there was kind of a shocking moment when the issue of Taiwan came up. It was hosted by Newsmax, and my old colleague Greta Van Susteren asked the question. Watch this.
Senator, are Taiwan and the South China Sea national security issues for the United States? If so, why?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Are Taiwan and the South China Sea national security issues for the United States, and if so, why or how?
I'm just going to be honest here. I'm not on national security. I'm not that informed on national security, but I do support the military.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I know she's just pinch hitting, but that's disqualifying. They had a debate last night.
Now that's Darlene Graham, the late Lindsey Graham's sister. All we heard is how Kamala Harris was not qualified. How the hell is Trump endorsing her? Where is the claims from the right that it's wrong to just give the job to an unqualified candidate? Why is Trump giving that to her? You're going to tell me Biden was wrong for giving it to an unqualified, in air quotes, an unqualified Kamala Harris, but you're okay with Trump trying to give the job to her? Now, he is endorsing her because legally he cannot just give her the job, but it's pretty clear he would do that if he could. Why is there no outcry on the right for him trying to propel this woman who is she currently is a sitting senator, admitting she has no foreign policy experience, which is like one of their primary duties, which is exactly what her brother was deeply involved in, was international affairs. She's admitting she doesn't know that. And now she wants 6 years? Where's all of the folks on the right complaining about DEI? Didn't earn it. And speaking of DEI, before we take the first caller, are we at 10,000? Tap the screen. Smash that like button if you're on YouTube. Subscribe to the program if you're on YouTube. You know how we do it. We don't block, ban, or censor. We are MAGA friendly. Our comments go left of Mom Donnie to I'm having dinner with Q. We don't censor anyone. You can be critical of yours truly or anybody else on the program. That's how free speech works. But speaking of DEI, I got to give you this one because once again, President Trump's in the news doing something I don't understand whatsoever.
The Navy is weighing whether to rename a carrier that was supposed to be named after a war hero from Waco to now naming it after President Trump. The USS Doris Miller is currently under construction. It was set to honor a sailor from Central Texas for his heroic actions during the attack on Pearl Harbor, where he took control of an anti-aircraft gun despite receiving no training and opened fire on Japanese planes, later helping his fellow sailors to safety. But 3 sources familiar with internal discussions told CNN that the Navy was considering to change the name. 2 of the sources said there have been internal conversations to name it after President Trump. It would be an unprecedented move for the Navy to name an aircraft carrier after a sitting president. The Navy is
once again, we're talking DEI, folks. Some of my detractors of DEI would often suggest those acronyms stand for didn't earn it. Didn't earn it. Now, this guy, Dory Miller, where you just seen, I don't know why I don't have his picture queued up. Dory Miller, first African-American sailor to win or be awarded the Navy Cross. You see him here pictured with that cross on his chest. And you heard her say during the attack on Pearl Harbor, he took control of one of those anti-air artillery gun, AAA fire, where he's shooting back at the aircraft that are bombing. Now, not only was he not trained on this gun, he couldn't use it because if you're African American, you were not allowed to be involved in combat duties. So even though he wasn't trained on anything, people were getting shot up. He had the wherewithal to take control of a gun, and he fired at Japanese aircraft until it ran out of fucking bullets. Then he started dragging comrades to safety that were wounded. He even dragged his mortally wounded captain out of the line of fire. He was awarded the Navy Cross by Nimitz himself. They later had, in fact, I think the Nimitz carrier, carrier still, has it been decommissioned? But the Nimitz even received a carrier himself. He received that Navy Cross from Nimitz. So they want to honor this man, this African-American, being the first African-American to receive a Navy Cross. They're going to name a carrier after him. Here comes the Trump administration contemplating about changing that and naming it after Trump while he is still alive. Remember, we're talking about DEI. People that don't have the merit getting shit. This guy has all the merit you could expect. He has 100% merit, and we're going to take it from him and give it to Trump. Once again, where is the complaining from the right in regards to DEI? So now we got Darlene Graham, and now we got this here as well. They're going to take that in. Keep in mind, Trump is also the one that stopped the Harriet Tubman $20 bill in his first term as well, but that's a whole different conversation. But he also put a permanent halt to that as well. So I don't know if this is some kind of pattern, so to speak, but naming a Navy carrier after a person that's still alive, that would be unprecedented. So let's get into the show. There's several other topics I do want to talk to you about, but to not extend the monologue indefinitely, this is a weekend review, so the show's going to take many directions, including President Trump deciding to shorten the what do they call it, the war games drills or war practice and war games with the South Koreans, suggesting that he had a good relationship with Kim Jong-un of North Korea. And literally right after he did that, right after he talked about how great his relationship was with Kim Jong-un appeared in the news for doing some of the worst shit.
6 new overnight, North Korea firing multiple missiles towards the sea just a day after the country mostly ignored a U.S. decision to scale back military drills with South Korea.
Okay, so what does all of this mean? Archie Newher has been following this overnight and joins us now in the live center with the very latest. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. The South Korean military officials say nearly 10 short-range ballistic missiles were launched from North Korea's capital region. The missiles flew nearly 185 miles towards North Korea's eastern waters. U.S. military...
Done that literally just a day or so, not even, right after Trump said he had a good relationship with him. But you know, they say like in the 80s and 90s infomercials, but wait, there's more.
another wave of Russian attacks. A senior Ukrainian official says Vladimir Putin may ask North Korea's Kim Jong-un for up to
jump the gun. And
we begin with what Ukraine says is a new threat to its people as it endures yet another wave of Russian attacks. A senior Ukrainian official says Vladimir Putin may ask North Korea's Kim Jong-un for up to 50,000 more troops to boost the Russia war effort. Well, that's on top of the 8,500 already in Russia. The official says the current North Korean contingent includes a drone unit that could play a role in attacks inside Ukraine.
So we're helping the Ukraine, and the guy that Trump says he has a good relationship with may send 50,000 troops to help out Russia, in addition to the 8,500 that's already there. What did Trump mean when he says he has a good relationship with Kim Jong-un? I don't understand it. What does he mean when he says he has a good relationship with them? They sound like we're almost damn near at a proxy war with them. Leonard Watkins, good evening, welcome to the program. Tap the screen, get the lights on up if you will, and help you out with the hat, mustache, TikTok cap goals. We'll see if we can get the show going. Yeah, because Putin is scared. What does that got to do with Putin, though? Trump is saying he got a good relationship with Kim Jong-un, and Kim Jong-un seems to be making him look like a fool. What happened to under Trump, we're more respected worldwide? Does that look like respect what Kim Jong-un just did? Does that look like he's showing respect to President Trump at all? Somebody help me out with that. We are, MDJ says Kim Jong-un said Trump lied. I haven't heard that. In fact, his sister, Kim Jong-un's sister, says she does consider Trump's relationship with her brother to be a good relationship. Kim Jong-un was on TV, or Kim Jong-un's sister. I don't know if she is the appointed successor to the guy, because he's still pretty young, but she speaks out as well. And they had a video of her saying that she considers Trump's relationship to her brothers to still be a decent relationship. We are funding this war. Trump and his kids are getting rich beyond what we can imagine. Democrats win in the midterms. Do you think they're going to go after any of that money? Do you think the Democrats are going to try to go after any of the money that has been scored by Trump and some of his associates? Going back to the box, we'll try it again with Tom Knopf. Trump's relationship with his daughter is crazy as hell. With whose daughter? Trump's relationship with whose daughter are you talking about? Tom, good evening.
Hey, good evening, sir. How are you?
Good to have you on. So what do you think with Trump suggesting that we have a good relationship with North Korea? Does that sound like something beneficial to the United States?
Not at all. His judgment has always been a little bit skewed, kind of like somebody trying to point out where something is if they got a lazy eye. It's over there. But maybe just a little bit off.
But we do have folks suggesting that he's one of the best presidents we've ever had. What are they seeing that you're not, or what are you seeing that they must be missing over?
You look at the state of the economy. You look at how things are getting more and more affordable for average, lower to middle class Americans. The only people that this administration really is benefiting are those within the top 1% or close to it.
But what about what about short-term pain for long-term gain? The notion that had Trump not acted, Iran was on the cusp of developing a nuclear weapon. He had to do what he needed to do to keep us safe. And unfortunately, at least for the interim, it's going to cost us a little bit more. But you should not mind paying a little bit more for gas and things like that if you are safe from nuclear attack.
Wasn't it his one of his top guys that said that they did an investigation? And said that we weren't in danger. I don't know. To me, this is giving 9/11 2.0. Kind of like, and I might be wearing a tinfoil hat, but this to me, when I think Bibi, got in bed with Bush and said attack Iran so we can go to war, even though they didn't do nothing to us.
No, wait. You mean Bibi Netanyahu got in bed with Trump? Because you said attack. Now, what are you saying? Netanyahu convinced George W. Bush to attack Iraq as well?
I think this is a 9/11 2.0.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So Netanyahu is just dragging us into wars and conflicts.
Yeah, it's all about money. It's all about oppression. I mean, there's really, this should generate so much money at the end of the day that that's all.
Kind of reminds me of the Tupac lyrics: "Got money for war, but can't feed the poor." Because you're right, war is profitable. That's why people would rather
more
have
money,
a
more
war.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think it's going to turn out? Do you think we will at least be victorious?
I hope I live to see the end of it.
Damn, you think it go on that long?
I'm not even talking about like me being in my 80s and seeing this thing, and I'm talking about somebody sending something over here that takes us out.
Bro, I don't know if I fear that. You're thinking that this could lead to somebody launching a nuclear attack on America and on the United States and having a huge casualty rate? You see that as even a remote possibility?
Yeah, I mean they're practicing for this shit in our backyard. Where are they over there in Panama or Cuba or somewhere over there? Just they're preparing, man. This is real talk.
Wow, that's frightening. I like I said, I'm not quite there yet, but I could certainly see it leading to terror attacks and terror events. I mean, you can only fuck with so many people before somebody hits you back. I mean, with Trump and let's take Trump out of the picture, as you rightfully pointed out with George W. Bush. We've been messing with people most of our lives, but under Trump, we've kind of accelerated it because Trump has talked about fucking with probably about over a half dozen countries. I think obviously Greenland. Fucking Canada, he's talked about maybe taking them by force. He's I don't know if he was joking about it or not, but he made it clear that it was not off the table. Panama, Cuba, he said something about Colombia. He's already did something down in Venezuela. Obviously, we're now in Iran. He threatened Oman the other day. I mean, it's just at an accelerated rate with Trump.
Yeah. At the end of the day, this is what America chose. We racism is expensive. So
you think it's about racism?
It is. The only reason that Kamala didn't win is exactly why you pointed out. Cisgender, heterosexual, racist men couldn't stand the idea of a black woman being in office, even though she was guaranteed to make this country better.
Whoa. Why do you say, wait, I can't let you just get away with guarantee. What I mean, regardless of how you feel about Kamala Harris and Biden, I think the consensus, even from the left, is that the border was not being managed properly under the Biden administration. So I don't know if the border had to remain the way they were doing it. Do you think the country could have gotten better with essentially folks being able to come here, declare asylum, and just be let in?
But what do you do when you got a piece of legislation that could solve the problem, and then you got Trump calling in to tell Republicans to stop it from passing?
No, I don't disagree with that. I will say Trump was smart because he knew he could keep it that way and run on it. But I do have to push back from one angle. What took Biden so long to come up with that border bill? That was done in almost like his last year. They were complaining about the border and these huge caravans and things coming basically from the moment he took office. Why let 3 years go by?
Maybe he had the same frame of thinking as Trump did, is just to use this as a last minute push to, get votes. I honestly don't know.
It's possible, but he killed his successor to be Kamala Harris. He killed her chances by doing that. I think he killed her chances also by trying to stay in the race too long. I would tend to think that if Biden had just simply been a one-term transitional president, with the goal being to make sure Trump doesn't get reelected in 2020 and only serve one term, I think the Democrats would have had a significantly better chance of winning in 2024 than just handing off to Kamala Harris, because you would have had a Democrat frenzy. And I don't think Kamala Harris would have won out of all the other Democrats that ran.
Yeah. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have Sleepy Joe than Shitty Don, and I think that's my mic drop at the end of it.
You'd rather have Sleepy Joe than Shitty Don. What are you insinuating with the Shitty John?
I'm saying whoever does this dry cleaning bill is probably on self-unaliving watch, because that man,
Shitty Don, huh? My God. So what are you anticipating in the midterms? We're now, 74? I think I asked my device here, 74 days. What are you anticipating? Are you excited, or are you anxious, or do you feel hopeless?
I feel I'm okay. How do I say this here? I'm hopeful that this has been enough struggle for people to get out and do the right thing, but maybe not. Maybe we haven't quite crashed and burned yet. Well, we'll have to see.
So. Let's say Trump wins. Let's say the Republicans maintain control of both the House and Senate going forward. Do you think some of this stuff will correct itself? Trump's promising a lot of good stuff. He is promising to bring down gas prices, groceries, bring back manufacturing. Let's say he gets another 2 years maintaining control of the House and Senate. Are you at least optimistic under the current commander-in-chief?
Not at all. He's had time to clean this shit up from the beginning, and I feel like the only way we need another, and I even hate saying this, but I think we need another C-19.
What the fuck? Did you say we need another pandemic?
Yeah, because that's the only thing that got him out in the first time.
No, we can vote this. We can correct this with the ballot. You really want us to? Why would you explain why you're saying we need another pandemic? Wow, explain that. Elaborate on that.
Millions of people unalived in this country. The first time he told us that it was a hoax, and if you drink bleach, it's going to go away in 2 weeks. And I think the first time they really saw his incompetence, or they were begging at that point for things to.
Is he that bad? Is he really that bad as a president that you want him gone so much that you would be willing to sacrifice a ton of Americans? They're gonna say you got TDS if you want people to perish just to get. Is he really that bad?
They're gonna perish when he kicks the bucket. I mean, why?
What do you mean?
I guess why prolong the inevitable at this point? Shit.
I mean, nobody's perishing now. He's been in office almost half his term. We're not dying now, are we?
The dog has rabies. How long before we get bit?
Oh my God, you're using some really awful analogies. So let me ask you this: who do you see on the horizon for the Democrat Party that could lead the party? Let's go beyond the midterms. Do the Democrats have anything to put forward? I get that you don't favor Trump. What do the Democrats have on the bench?
They need to do something with our Constitution and put immigrants and make them eligible. Because if Mamdani was
Mamdani 2028, is that what you're telling me? Mamdani 2028.
I feel like they would. Yeah, him and Newsom. I feel like they would pull this country out of the gutter for sure.
You trying to get somebody shot? Mamdani president? Really? Ooh.
Yeah. What is with this country's Islamophobia? Like, the only time we have ever been united was the day after 9/11, when we were united in hate.
Yeah, and I can explain that one pretty easy, and this is why I believe the founding fathers wanted separation of church and state, and why I'm a hardcore opponent of putting religion in schools and things like that. Religion is judgmental. That's why we are anti-Muslim, and a lot of them are anti-Christian. Your religion teaches you, no matter what it is, you are worshiping the only one and true God. That's what most religions teach them. It teaches you, beware of false prophets, thou shalt have no other God before me. It teaches you that whatever the other man is worshiping is a fraud. So you don't want nobody viewing your God or your deity as a fraud. So there's just hatred built right into it. So that has a lot to do with it. I mean, there's nothing that has started more conflicts than religion, which is why I don't believe it should have any place in government. You shouldn't force it on kids or shove it down anybody's throats because it leads to a lot of judgment. The LGBTQ stuff, religious-based. Abortion debate, religious-based. What we're talking about now, religious. I mean, a lot of our conflicts are religious-based.
Yeah. All I can say is ain't no hate like Christian love.
Ooh. But Mamdani, huh? Jeez.
Yeah, man.
Let me just say this on Mamdani before because I got to move it on for time, but I will just say this. Mamdani is really pleasing to New Yorkers, but before I could ever think about him at the national level, I got to see how it turns out because Trump promised a lot of good shit too. I've been to a couple MAGA rallies, even though I didn't vote for Trump. I've been to a couple rallies. I've seen the happiness in the eyes of MAGA. He ain't delivered on none of that shit. And he had been a politician longer than Mamdani had at that point. Mamdani has got the same type of energy from his crowd, but that stuff has not been realized yet. So I don't want the left to do what the right has done and start just automatically saying, Trump forever and shit. Let him deliver first. If Mamdani starts actually delivering on that stuff, you and I may be on the same side, but I got to see the delivery beyond just the promises.
I agree. But I'm hopeful that he's going to maintain, what he's doing. And if he doesn't, just like I feel about any corruption, regardless of what side of the aisle it's on, lock him up. Period.
Well, that remains to be seen. I do got to move it on. Appreciate you coming through, Tom. Thank you.
Always a pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Absolute. Same. Tap the screen. Get us on up to 30 thou. Help your boy out with the hat, mustache, TikTok cap goes. Happy Friday to all of you folks. The weekend is here. He is delivering in New York, says JJ. There's still a lot of his campaign promises he has not delivered on yet, JJ, in New York. The New Yorkers are happy, though. I get your point because, and I compare him to Trump because early in Trump's term, he was shutting down the border. He was controlling immigration. He's protecting men and women's sports. He was delivering too. But now if you look at him, almost 2 years into his term, a lot of MAGA don't see him as delivering anymore. He delivered on a few campaign promises in the beginning, but most of Trump's signature campaign promises he has not delivered on. Let's see what happens with Mamdani, which is why I'm saying I think the jury should still be out on him. Don't jump into the Trump 2028 category yet, or Mamdani 2028 before you see the actual delivery. I'm not saying that Mamdani may not become a superstar. I'm just simply saying wait till you see the actual wins before you start giving him a trophy. Tap the screen. Trump lies every time he opens his mouth, says Dorothy Loves. Yikes. Tap the screen. Trump is doing way more in less than 2 years than Biden did in 45 years. Florida Blondie, I agree. Trump is doing way more in less than 2 years than Biden did in 45 years. But it's not all good. It's not all good. Fucking up counts as doing as well. And I would submit to you that Trump is doing a lot of fucking up too. I don't know what we want to attribute to Biden, but he didn't start a war. He didn't start a war. And that's what Trump campaigned on, is no new wars. So yeah, he's doing more than Biden did, but I'm going to chalk it more up in the fucking up category than success. Outside of the border, it gets pretty fuzzy. If you want to give Trump credit for accomplishments, the border, how folks felt about immigration, that's probably his strongest accomplishment. And even that is foggy because of how bad ICE has fucked up a lot of deportations. But other than that, it gets hazy real quick after that. There's no way I'm going to celebrate what he's done on the economy or even, you know, the military, or strengthening our resolve worldwide. He doesn't look great on that stuff. Actually, Fled Cruz isn't. Oh, okay, you guys are talking amongst each other. Tap the screen, help your boy with the hat and mustache. That's somebody showing your boy some love. Thank you for the TikTok cap there. 2026 CJ, whatever the name is there. Thank you. We'll go back to the box, tap the screen. In the comments, and he's costing way more money, and Trump's painting the White House gold, tearing down Eastwood. Yeah, all of that. The fucking ballroom, all this stuff, making us pay our taxpayer money so he could put his name on the Kennedy Memorial, or that we're paying tax money so he can continue fighting against E. Jean Carroll, or refurbish that jet from Qatar. We're paying for all of that stuff. Now they're having some kind of NASCAR event in DC, I think this weekend, 250th celebration. We're paying for all of that stuff in the middle of this fucking economy. I don't get it. Look, if you want to celebrate our 250th, yes, that is very, very patriotic. But this is akin right now to buying your kids lavish Christmas gifts a month after getting laid off. It's just like right now you may have to scale back some. We don't have the money for this. The American citizens are not doing very well, and he is just constantly just living large in DC, painting statues gold and millions of dollars to dye pools different colors and shit. Lay off a little bit. People are hurting. I mean, you can do this shit in time, but make sure everybody else is eating before you start living so lavish. I don't know how to explain it other than that. Now, to be honest, though, wouldn't you like the White House to be gold? No. Why? Why the hell would I want the White House to be gold? The fuck? No, careless, fearless. Why would I want that? I don't see any benefit to that at all. That gold could go benefit hungry folks and all kinds of. I would rather you send the money to a starving kid in another country as opposed to painting the White House gold. Why the hell would I want that? Going back to the box, Sergeant Bill Cole. Why does that name sound familiar? Sergeant Bill Cole it's the White House. Well, yeah, the White House. It shouldn't be the Gold House, but either way, at some point, take care of the citizens. Quit the pet project. All of the shit you're doing to make your life and your surroundings really cushy. People are hurting. People can barely even afford to buy a house. And you're talking ballrooms and gold statues in the White House. No, I don't favor that. Hanson Conservator says if Biden wanted to keep his party in power, he would not have chosen Kamala Harris. I don't think it's the choosing of Kamala Harris that was the biggest mistake. I think running for a second term, certainly after that botched debate, I think that was a significantly greater mistake. I think even if he had chose Kamala Harris and she had a year or two to run, I think she would have done much better. Because, Trump grabbed him by the pussy and some of those horrible comments he made. Well, Kamala goes on TV and says, I wouldn't do anything different than Biden. But Trump had enough time to correct his statements, to get advice and correct it. She didn't. She only had 107 days. So I think that's the biggest mistake he made, is not giving her enough time. Trump is catering to his rich supporters and that donate millions. Most politicians do that in addition to Trump, but yes, he is doing it at a significantly greater level. Going back to the box, tap the screen, get us up at 30, if you will. Help your boy out with the hat and mustache. TikTok cap goes. I'm going to ask that as always. Gabach101. Biden's mistake was not running right after Obama. Well, Hillary Clinton I think Hillary Clinton, it was her time. I think she would have beat Jeb Bush. Trump just came out of nowhere. Sometimes, it ain't in the cards for you. But for the Democrat Party, I think it was Hillary Clinton's time. It's just nobody expected Trump to be as good of a salesman as he was. He wasn't expected to come along and do that. So the guy is a really good salesman, President Trump is. I'm having trouble bringing up guests. Let's try it again and tap the screen. DJ Sound. Hillary messed up by neglecting Detroit and other swing states. I don't think that would have made a difference. DJ Sound, good evening. DJ Sound, are you there?
Come up. I I was tapping.
Okay, I'll go ahead and drop you. Thank you. And tap the screen. He is right. Get us up to 30,000. A liar or salesman. Some might suggest they're synonyms. Some might suggest, you go buy a used car. It's not uncommon for the salesman to tell you things about the car that's not true. So salesman and a liar can be a synonym. But yeah, I think, Trump lied about a lot of things during the campaign. We can clearly see that now. But he was a really good salesman. I say that all the time. I think compared to Kamala Harris, Kamala was not a good candidate compared to Trump. Folks get it mixed up when I say that. I get a lot of flack from my African-American viewers and my liberals alike because they tend to think when I say Kamala was not a good candidate, they think that translates to saying she was not qualified. No, Kamala Harris is probably one of the most qualified candidates to ever run. She was a attorney general, or better yet, district attorney general of the state of California. Then she won the Senate position at the national level, became vice president, and then was running for president. She literally has a stair step right towards the White House. She has the qualifications, but you still got to be able to sell yourself. And when it comes to selling herself, she was not a good candidate at that. But qualified, I think she's more qualified than Trump. I do believe she's more qualified than President Trump at the time. Anyway, look it in the comments. Hey, Tim, have you seen the movie Matilda? Donald Trump is Matilda's dad. No, I have not seen that. All fun and shit till the Merv re-enters the atmosphere. Okay, I don't know what that is saying. Tap the screen. Vaccine Nazis still cooning for their cults. Don't know what any of that means, but I appreciate your input. She was black lady. Our country is white bigoted. They're also sexist. And there's a lot of sexism among the African-American community. There are plenty of African-Americans that don't favor a woman running for office. So go figure. It ain't just racism that hurt her. Sexism hurt her too. Men just need to admit they don't want to be told what to do. And Miss Harris was going to tell men what. I don't agree with that because I didn't have a problem with Hillary Clinton or Kamala Harris. Good leadership is good leadership. You don't need a dick to be a good leader. In fact, the testosterone sometimes comes with additional shit that causes problems like egos, narcissism, and wars. You get more of that from people with dicks. So I'm going to tell you, I don't have a problem with a female leading this nation. That's just me, though. But look at all of the racial shit we tackle when it comes to law enforcement. How often is it a female doing it? And considering that females are smaller, physically weaker, you would expect them in adverse situations to pull out their firearm and use it. But it's mostly dudes. Most of the controversial acts by law enforcement come from men. That's not to say that there's less women on the police force, but even in terms of proportion, it is incredibly rare to see wrongful shootings by women. It's almost always men. So there is a place in leadership for women as well, in my opinion. Let me go back to the box. There is a lot of misogyny in this country. That is true. Religion is another issue with that. I mentioned before about religion. Religion plays a part in misogyny as well. God, man, woman, child. Most religions place a woman at a lower position than a man. Is that Mike?
Mike Honcho.
Honcho, good evening. What brings you up?
Brother?
What am I getting wrong this evening?
Well, first of all, it's Captain America. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Oh, wow. Okay, fair enough. What am I getting wrong, Captain?
So I'll start it with this. John Stewart, 2028. And,
I don't think he was the position.
I don't care. I'm going to wish it into existence, brother.
John Stewart. Did I lose you?
No, man, I agree with you on a lot of what you're saying, to be honest with you. As far as a woman leading a nation, I mean, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. There may be a delay or something.
Yeah, I mean, as far as a woman leading a nation, I don't understand why we have such a problem with
religion. The problem, hey, listen, I think what it is, you have a bad signal. It's showing me you only got one bar. I may have to drop you just because you got a bad signal. But in regards to not understanding why there's a problem with a woman, as I stated, religion. I mean, there's ego and there's male, chauvinism. And men think, a lot of men think they're superior. But religion plays a huge part in it as well. Are you still there?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. But but there's going to be a delay. Go ahead and make your point, though.
Oh, yeah, I just thought, I mean, we've had the experiment of running this country with men 47 times, and obviously it hasn't worked very well, so why not let a woman have a shot at it? No problem with a woman as president. I didn't like Hillary Clinton. I'm going to be honest with you. There was a lot shady about her.
What about versus Trump? What about Hillary versus Trump? If you had to vote between those two right now, with all of the shadiness surrounding Hillary Clinton, where's your vote going?
Oh, dude, Hillary Clinton, easily. I mean, I voted for her the first time. You know what I'm saying? I knew Trump was going to be worse. Like you're saying, he's a salesman, and you can't be a good salesman without being a good liar. They go hand in hand. And I knew that the second he said he was going to run for president. He didn't have anyone else's best interest at heart. That's how he's been his entire life. That's all the evidence we had of him. I mean, every time the guy gave to charity was for his own profit in return. You know what I'm saying? So
I can't speak on Trump as a citizen because I didn't know a lot about him more than him just being a celebrity. But look, I actually personally, even though I didn't vote for Trump, I actually did myself fall for some of his promises. Certainly the notion that he could end the Ukraine-Russian war. I didn't think in 24 hours, but I did think he would end it rather quickly because he's had a long-term relationship with Putin, and I thought he could probably get Putin, a trinket or two and get him to back down. He's been a dismal failure in that, and I certainly did not expect him to start a new war. So he got me. He even got me, even though I didn't vote for him. His sales tactics even got me.
Yeah, man, he's a good salesman. He's a good liar. But that's the problem. That's politicians. That's politicians in general. Let's make it clear. Trump just played the game the best. Yeah, all politicians are good liars.
Yeah, he's really good. You think he's going to be able to sell Darlene Graham? He's on his way to South Carolina now to hold a rally tonight. He's going to campaign on behalf of Lindsey Graham's sister, who is just woefully unqualified. She has DEI tattooed on her forehead. Do you think that she's just with Trump's endorsement alone, because that is all she has? She has nothing else going for her other than her dead brother and Trump's endorsement. No resume. Her resume is fucking blank when it comes to this. Do you think that the South Carolinians, with just those qualifications, are going to propel her to the top of the ticket?
I think it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag. I think it's going to be, I think a lot of people have woken up to Trump, despite what you see on the internet. If you go around talking to locals in your town, if you live in a red state, you'll see a lot of people are fed up with him. And they've realized that they've been conned. So there is that. But at the same time, it is South Carolina. I
was about to say, you got to understand it's a MAGA stronghold. Any MAGA stronghold, people, the waking up, the folks who are separating from Trump, it's slower in MAGA strongholds.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And South Carolina is definitely one of his most friendly states. I would say Texas, South Carolina, and maybe like Alabama and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So
I kind of wonder why he didn't. Well, I guess because of the relationship, but I wonder why he didn't at least ask Nikki Haley, could you do this? Because Lindsey just passed away about a month ago, and then the election is November. He could have asked. Now, Nikki Haley is absolutely qualified. She used to be governor of the state. Could you step in as the state senator until the November election? If you want to run again in November, you can, but you're the most qualified thing there is in the state for the Republican side. I mean, but to put it
easy answer to that.
What's the answer?
Easy answer to
What's
that.
the answer?
He doesn't want qualified people. He wants people where he can snap his fingers and they'll do whatever the fuck he says. Trump does not want, that's obvious. It's been going like that. His entire cabinet is unqualified, Tim.
And I see in the comments, I got I got a viewer, Eminem, in the comments said, I'm from South Carolina, and I'm telling you, these rednecks will put her in office. Wow. Wow. So there you go. I mean, so for 6 years, and she has no experience. She didn't even know if South Taiwan was an issue. I mean, she has no foreign policy experience at all. So,
dude, you want to? I mean, Lauren Boebert got elected in Colorado, and that chick didn't even graduate high school, brother. And I know that because I went to the same high school as her. So,
really?
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
She is an absolute idiot. That woman is dumb as a pile of rocks, and she was able to be voted in. So nothing would surprise me. But I really hope enough people have woken up to this administration.
I'm not sure in the MAGA strongholds. I think Trump. I mean, listen. Keep in mind while we're talking. Thank you, Shirt 14, for the hat and mustache. I appreciate that. While we're talking about people waking up to the Trump administration, keep in mind a lot of folks still think the left is fucking batshit crazy with the transgender stuff and the socialism. So they may wake up to the right and say, "Look, I woke up and I still will make the conscious choice of voting Republican because the left is so crazy."
That's one thing I think the left needs to quit. Despite their personal beliefs and feelings, I do think that they need to stop pushing the transgender agenda because it's obviously hurting them. You don't have to talk about it to do it. And I don't think they need those votes at this point anymore. The community knows what party they stand with. So I think this next election, we need to kind of cut out the social politics a little bit and focus more on financial politics.
I don't believe at this point, though, even if the left stops promoting the right is seeing so much value in it that they're going to just like with Democrat socialism. You don't have to actually be a Democrat socialist for the right to call you a Democrat socialist. You don't have to be in favor of the transgender community for the right to say you don't know what a woman is. They're getting so much value off of it. They're going to pin that to any Democrat coming down the street. I mean, I've had people tell me you don't know what a woman is. Like, goddamn it, I ain't got nothing to do with that. They telling me that shit. So they're going to pin it to anybody on the left.
One thing the Democrats need to be better at is throwing fire. The Republican Party isn't afraid to say anything to any other politician, and they need to be a little bit more rude. I'm gonna say that, and I know that sounds ridiculous, but when you got a guy like Trump up there saying fake news every time a reporter says something that's obviously true, and then calls him a pig and all this stuff, I know you're trying to be professional, but throw that shit back at him. Tell him he's an orange fucking clown. Tell him he's a fat ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, throw it back at him. Because honestly, dude, the left looks like straight pussies right now. They really do.
What happened to when they go low, we go high? You don't like that, huh?
I don't. Not anymore. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying don't be kind to people, but I'm saying these politicians and these news reporters, if people are going to be rude to them, throw it back at them. That's obviously the culture that we like these days. That's why Trump got elected. Let's be honest. He got elected because of the shit that he said about people, not because of his qualification or his policies. So, yeah, I mean, throw that shit back at him. That's what people want. We live in a fucking culture of social media.
The problem is, if one of these reporters do that, you'll never be invited back to a press conference again, and that would be detrimental to their careers. Not to mention, if you're CNN, let's say Caitlin Collins of CNN, if she does, because he's attacked her numerous times, if she attacked him back, he's not going to invite her to a press conference, and he may target the whole fucking network and say none of y'all can come back. So that's a big burden on her to decide, do I want to throw this back at him and not only potentially harm my career, but all of my colleagues ain't gonna get invited to press conferences either.
So start a YouTube channel, start a TikTok. There's obviously more people that watch this kind of stuff than watch cabinet.
He's still gonna get
like
you. If he finds out about it, he's still gonna come at you.
I mean, I get it, but what else are we supposed to do? Keep acting nice to a guy?
We can bow down and say yes, master. We can bow down and say yes, master, right? He is a king, some would say.
Hell no. Well, somebody needs to put him on his knees and kick him in his teeth is what they need to do. But no, man, I think that, and I'm not saying the Democratic Party should go off the rails and act like Trump and his administration. That's not what I'm saying. But when they push back, man, we got to stop looking like pussies. There's a lot of people in this country that view the Democratic Party as weak.
Yeah, Thomas Massey did that the other day, suggesting that Trump may be sleeping with his new intern. What is her name? Natalie, what did I put her name? Natalie Harp. And the right is going crazy about that. And I'm with you. Like, all this shit that Trump says about people, and somebody indicates that his new assistant may be a hoe that he's fucking, and all that's off limits. All the shit that Trump says about people, like, are you crazy? Even Jesse Waters of Fox News was like, Trump has said, and Jesse Waters is hardcore MAGA. Even he came out on the 5 and said Trump has said way worse shit about people. So I don't know, but go ahead.
I'll give Waters one thing. He stands true to his cancel culture stuff. So I'll give him that. At least he stands on that.
Fair enough.
Other than that, he's a pile of shit.
All right, I gotta move it on for time. Listen, I'm a big 5 watcher. I'm not a fan of Jesse Waters either, so I'll leave it at that. Appreciate you coming through.
All right, I'll leave it at Jon Stewart 2028.
Good luck with that. Well, first of all, you know something? If he ran, he would have a lot of support, but I don't think he's intending on running. So that's what the problem is.
If he ran, he would win by a landslide. But I'm like I said, I'm wishing it into existence. I hope he runs. Something in my head just tells me that that's what's right now.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Unfortunately, it won't be realized, not going forward, because I don't think Jon Stewart's going to do it. But I got to go. Thanks for coming through.
Take care, bud.
Appreciate it. Tap the screen. Help your boy with the hat and mustache TikTok cap goes. No love today, huh? Wow. Real quick, a couple things I want to talk to you guys about. Certainly, folks are asking, why did I have the athlete on the screen? But before we get into that, and that will tie into what we're discussing, but this is what I was just telling my last caller, Jesse Waters on the 5.
Jesse, it wasn't a quip that just came rolling off the tongue. It was written into the speech. So it was planned.
Yeah, I mean, Natalie had bone cancer and Trump saved her life with right to try. So she's loyal. She's like, my Johnny. Johnny, very loyal. Some would say I saved his life. Metaphorically speaking.
I knew you were going to go.
But I mean, to suggest that Trump surrounds himself with attractive women, yeah, I think he's done that his whole life. I don't think he's very upset about the comment. Am I fazed by this comment? No. Has Trump said so much worse, so much more sleazy things against other people? Yes. Have I defended those things? Absolutely. So I'm not going to pretend I'm all hot and bothered about it. And the president doesn't even care. He's like, what? Who? Oh, Pee Wee Herman? Next story with.
And so, like my last caller said, at least he's being consistent. I mean, he did come out because a lot of folks on the right are trying to make it sound like Thomas Massey, the Senate candidate, went over the top by suggesting this young assistant might be a hoe. Like, people were calling Michelle Obama a man, and they went after George W. Bush's kids. I mean, people go after people. I don't know why all of a sudden, and Trump, as Jesse Waters rightfully points out, Trump himself says all kinds of horrible shit about people. So look, you can't do it if you can't, don't do it if you can't take it. What they say, don't dish it out if you cannot take it. So I don't know if there's anybody that deserves to be the victim of personal attacks more than President Trump, because he's just launched a gaggle of them since being president. Blue One Banks, shout out. Blue One Banks making a Friday beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you for the support. Dencal says North Korea sent 8,000 troops to fight in the Ukraine. Yes, 8,500 troops in the video, they stated that. But now they're talking about sending potentially 50,000 more. 50,000 more. If the North Koreans send 50,000 more troops to fight on behalf of Russia against the Ukraine, and Trump is going around saying he has a good relationship with Kim Jong-un, to me that's pretty much like saying fuck Vladimir Zelensky of the Ukraine. I mean, just come out and say you don't like the guy, because that's what they're trying to kill his men. So if Trump is still saying he got it, whoa, real Talk. Haven't seen anything like that in God knows when. Thank you, Real Talk. Appreciate that. Trump kicked out a 4-star general for Hegseth. I think I remember hearing about that. Wow. And by the way, real quick, before we get on to the next caller, tap the screen, get us up to 35,000. You already said take a look at his body language, huh? You already have said that. Look at whose body language, Billy. Wow. In regards to the athletes you're seeing, Indiana Fever's Sophie Cunningham. Sophie Cunningham. She's been in the news. People asking why apparently she's come out and said, not apparently, but she did come out and say that there should not be, or better yet, she does not want to play against biological men in sports. She's a WNBA player, and the right has rallied around her because she obviously favors the notion that transgender males should not play in women's sports. Now, look, I don't believe they should play in women's sports either, but I keep saying this many times. It's not an issue. It's not an issue. This is something people were talking about that really is not happening. Handsome conservative, appreciate the money gone over on Clapper. Beautiful, emphasis on beautiful. Thank you. And this is not an issue. I believe the WNBA already has a rule that says if you went through puberty as a boy, you're disqualified for playing in the league. So it's already prevented from happening in the WNBA anyway. But once again, like I said, the right is going to pin anybody with things they believe is valuable, like pinning all Democrats as socialists or all Democrats as not knowing what a woman is. They're pinning the WNBA as a league that is considering letting men play. There is nothing like that on the horizon. It's just completely fabricated, and it's getting a lot of value from the right. They're holding segment after segment talking about this, even though it's not even a pipe dream. It's not the WNBA is not even discussing this. It's not even up for discussion. But if you only watch right-wing media, you would think this is about to happen tomorrow.
Pam says she'll keep using her platform to speak out on women's sports. She says, quote, people are like, you have a platform, use it. And then once you use it, it's like, go back to playing basketball. Well, I think I could do both. She also added this about the WNBA commissioner. You do have to have a person in power who is bold, who's confident, who wants the best for the players and not maybe for themselves all the time. So I do feel like as a whole, that could be a position that maybe is open at the end of the year, but that's not my call. It comes as supporters are showing up for Cunningham at games across the country with another rally planned tonight in Texas. With that, let's bring in May Mailman, former White House.
No, I don't like this because it's creating division in that league, and there's already a lot of division. Straight versus gay, white versus black. Now they don't threw this shit in there with the transgender. I don't, for Sophie Cunningham, though, I'm sure her agent is like, any publicity is good publicity. If you're going to have, because the WNBA is predominantly African Americans, and there's a whole lot of lesbians, you're checking off a whole lot of boxes that the right does not like. So folks like Caitlin Clark, being a straight white female, has brought some folks from the right over to watch some of the games. And Sophie Cunningham, now openly taking upon a right-wing position, will bring some of them over as well. So I'm sure her agent is like, look, it's going to make you unpopular in some circles, but this could make you a lot of money from the right side of the aisle. So I don't know what I would do if I was in her position, but this is not an issue in the WNBA. It's not an issue. Anyway, looking in the comments, and I see somebody said, Alter Ego says Sophie is great for the WNBA. That's it. Take this issue away from her, and you wouldn't be talking about her. You wouldn't, because she ain't making she don't make a killing on the fucking court. She's not scoring a ton of points. She's not making a killing on the court. So take this transgender issue away. A lot of you folks would not be talking about her. Let me go to the box. Alter Ego says bullshit. You weren't talking about her before this. So, yeah, take that away. I don't think you'd be talking about her. Let me go back to the box. Dencal says Trump kicked out. I saw that already. Tap the screen. She can cry over her tears, though. Tears for what? Marco, good evening. Marco, are you there? Apparently not. We'll move it on and we'll go straight to Gangsta Grandma. Good evening, Gangsta Grandma. Welcome to the program. America allowing Trump to rip them off. Idiots, says I can't disagree with that because I do believe President Trump is he's using our taxpayer money on a lot of things that are solely beneficial to him. If you want to call it ripping us off, I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I can't totally disagree with you on that. Going back to the box, we'll make it happen with Backpeak. I don't know what. Am I getting a lot of guests on here that are not requesting? Is that says?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Is that Bach? How's the name pronounced?
Yeah, it's Botch.
Botch. Okay. What brings you up?
Yeah, I just wanted to, I love hearing from you and whatnot. I'm from the great city of Las Vegas, and you're very neutral and whatnot. And just like me, I got a problem with Donald Trump because of the fact that, he has the ability to help the American people with the policies and he doesn't do it. Like, I don't have any problems with the grifting he does for the billions of dollars. That's expected. Donald Trump has been like this since the 70s.
Wait. That's your tax. It's one thing to grift. It's another thing when it's your money. You're okay with him grifting for your money?
Well, but the problem here is even if we don't like it, this is what he does, right? Like market manipulation, the things he does for the billionaires. This is all expected, the crypto coin. What my problem is that he should also be grifting for the American people, right? So if you can do $100 billion for your billionaire friends and a couple of billion for you, why isn't there any money in there for not the Democrats, the 70 million people that voted for you, that got you to that place so you can grift? So why haven't you done the things to uplift them? You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I know what you're getting at. And the answer is because he grifted your ass too. That's why you were part of the grift.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is like when he had the chance to even do remember the credit card interest cap for 10%?
Yeah.
That was a great policy. Remember, Americans are drowning in credit card debt. It's a paycheck to a credit card.
But I don't think you understand when I say you're part of the grift. You said you don't mind him grifting for him making billions and some of his friends as long as he. Hold on, hang on. Go ahead and repeat it.
I said that I don't have a problem with Donald Trump doing the grifting because that's what he's expected to do.
Okay.
Donald Trump has been grifting for years, as you know, from the Bibles, the crypto coins, all of these things are part and part of a whole marketing ploy that he does. Now he has the presidency to do it in the open. Like when he grifts on the stock market and he market manipulates, on oil prices by saying that, hey, you know what, there's a ceasefire, then there's not a ceasefire, all this stuff that
But that's the point. The point I'm making is this. You're okay with him grip. Now you want him to make sure that the people at the bottom can eat too, but you're okay with him.
Yes.
Okay, I get that. And most MAGA agree with you. But you're saying you're okay with him grifting for himself and the folks at the top, but you want him to also make sure that people eat. The point I'm trying to make to you is when you grift for the people at the top, they are taking the food out of the mouths of the people at the bottom. You're not going to eat. Because you are the source of a lot of their wealth.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm trying to get at is when he does market manipulation and makes $50 billion through whatever means that he does, why isn't there $20 billion for that veteran, that single mom? The places that need it. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm answering your question. I'm saying, like for instance, you mentioned the credit card interest and stuff like that. Some of his friends are the ones that are using that interest as part of the grift. I can't give you an interest rate discount when some of my millionaire friends are tallying that up as their profits. All of the stuff you're mentioning, he's surrounded with people that's what they're feeding off of. So I can't give you food because my people are eating that.
But this is what I'm saying with the credit card things. The bankers and that I know aren't going to like it, but he's going to make the money for them on the other end with other policies.
They want all the money. They want all the money.
Right? Well, that's not fair then, because remember what
You should be a liberal. You sound like a liberal now.
No, but what I'm saying is like you know what? All I'm saying is a lot of the stuff that he has done has not helped him. Look at the poll numbers on the Iran stuff, right? It's tanked him.
Yeah.
Okay, he's down to 33%. You cannot win. You know, elections, you need to scrape 5-6%.
You don't need to win again. Remember the whole. Let's go with what you said. The grifting. The whole focus is grifting. Even the Iran war. All of the people you said you're okay with him grifting and doing it for us. All of them are making a fortune off the war. He is doing what you said is okay to do, just at an astronomical level. They're making a killing off of that. His sons are getting drone and defense contracts in the process. They're doing the grifting. They're just doing it really good.
But why not use that grifting to help the 70 million people? Remember, you know what I'm getting at. I'm saying policies. I'm saying the policies to help the people that are down and out. That includes the MAGA. That includes the 70 million people that voted for him. Remember the tariff checks? There's $170 billion being refunded to Amazon, to all of these companies, Walmart. So why not say, out of the 70 billion guys, we're got to throw some money to my people. So making them feel good and saying, I'm getting the $5,000, Donald Trump made sure that I was looked after.
You should be hanging with Mamdani and AOC. To me, you're like the hyena telling the lion, why don't you leave some of this for us? They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care. They don't care if you starve. In fact, if you keep hanging around the kill, they're going to come over there and break your neck too. He doesn't care about you. It's pretty obvious.
You know what? You're right. Hypothetically, if he did care, wouldn't he do those type of things?
Yes. If he actually cared, he would have done this stuff a long time ago. But I'm going to submit this to you. When you voted for him and you thought he cared, he wasn't caring then either.
No, I didn't. Listen, one thing I've got to make clear, I didn't support Trump, okay? But what I'm saying is, since he's in power and he's got the ability to make policies, remember, we have to deal with it now for another 2 years. So, right, even with the whole immigration stuff, why is it the fact that he hasn't changed the laws through Johnson and the Senate? If he didn't like asylum, if he wanted to fast track stuff, things that have not been changed for 50 plus years, executive orders can be overturned by the next guy, and Supreme Court can also overturn certain decisions. But when you put it into the books,
that's a good question.
Why hasn't he done that?
That's a really good question. And I'll tell you this, I often hear from the right that Democrats want all these people to come here because they end up voting for Democrats. But they don't point out a lot of the folks on the right want immigrants to come here because they'll work for cheap labor. So maybe they're not codifying it because in the future, the folks he's grifting for can get them back. They don't want, a lot of folks on the right enjoy that cheap labor. There's Tyson Foods and all of them ain't Democrats. All of these folks that have companies that are in construction places and hotels that are loaded with immigrants working for less than American wages, all of them aren't run by Democrats. So there's a lot of Republicans that want those folks here. So maybe he's not codifying it because perhaps in the future they can come back. I'm just guessing here, but I agree with you. Why didn't he have Congress do it? I agree with you.
Yeah, and what about all the tariffs that he could have went through Congress and not have it overturned by the Supreme Court? Or was it the ploy to have the ultimate grift and getting all these refunds to these people to the tune of $170 billion? And was it a mastermind plan to say, I'm not going to go through Congress that sets the tariffs. I'm going to go through it my way and get it overturned and get these people all of their monies through refunds. Do you think that was the case?
No, the tariffs are easy to explain. That's a grift. Market manipulation, insider trading. When you're announcing tariffs ahead of time, people can make bids on the poly market, on the stock market. The tariffs are a grift to his people. I mean, when you tell Canada, we don't like you, so the tariffs are going to go up 50% additional tomorrow. That ain't got nothing to do with manufacturing. That ain't got nothing to do with the trade inbound. You're just throwing tariffs out there to fuck with people. And it's making the market go crazy. And because you're announcing it early, you and your cronies are making money off of it. Because on his Truth Social site, they got it where if you pay, I think it's $100,000 or some astronomical sum.
Yeah,
you can get the information early. I mean, that's just grift. That's all grift.
Now, what about the last thing, and I'll leave it on this. When Donald Trump needs to take the win, remember the housing bill that was bipartisan that he needed to just sign, say he did it all, take credit for it all, so Americans maybe in this lifetime may be able to own a home. Why do you think he doesn't take the wins when they're right in front of him? And thank God he didn't veto it and it automatically became into law. So somewhat of, relief, so BlackRock can't buy all the properties and whatnot. And the last thing is, even with the bridge with Michigan and Canada, why not just take the ribbon cutting, take all the credit? Why does he not do the things that may even help him? Even Spirit Airlines, remember Spirit Airlines? Take the free airline, use the $700 million taxpayer dollars, now call it the Trump Airlines, in total save 19,000 jobs, jobs, have a good story. Why do you think he does not do even the things that help him?
Trump is a complicated man. He's transactional. I don't know who owns Spirit Airlines. For all we know, Spirit Airlines could be owned by a liberal that's been critical of him. Revenge plays a huge part in a lot of Trump's decisions as well. I mean, he'll turn down money if he can go stick it to a liberal. So I don't know who owns Spirit Airlines or what was going on.
Well,
but
he talked about taking it over. Remember, that was another thing he did on the White House thing there, that take the $700 million, bail them out, and then he actually, just like the credit card issue that he talked about, capping the interest rates. He talks about stuff, even the whole Cuba thing. That was a great idea, to go ahead and have all of his billionaire friends take all the land, make all these resorts and whatnot, and then ultimately...
That ain't a great idea.
Hold on. Ultimately, 50% of the revenue goes to the Cuban people to make their lives and their families and their children's lives better, while he in turn has millions of Americans now flocking there on vacation for $600 to $700 a week. Everybody wins, Tim.
Good evening, Edith. Everybody ain't gonna fucking win, because if you believe that we were going to do that and give 50% of the money back to the Cuban people, look. I'll sell you an igloo. You're in Vegas. I'll sell you an igloo out there. I mean, look, there is no way. What they were going to do, just like with this whole Riviera of Gaza, they're going to practically enslave them motherfuckers. They're not giving them 50% of that shit. They be lucky to get 10%. They're going to go over there. If they started out with 50, that would be the highest those folks ever seen that at, and every time it would keep going lower and lower and lower. The goal would be to practically enslave them and take over their country and use them as workers. They're not, just like in Venezuela. We're not helping them people out. We took a bunch of oil from that country and we're not even telling them where it went. Just took their shit. And we would do the same to Cuba. Cuba would be a resort. Havana would look beautiful and everything, but most of the money would not be going to the Cubans. It's just like in America right now. You had a lot of dilapidated towns say, pass a law so that you would allow us to open up a casino, and we'll give a bunch of money to this town if you allow us to open up a casino. The states let them have those casinos that are now all over America, and in most cases, most of that money ain't going to those towns. Other than maybe a few blocks around it where they got to make sure it's secure and shit. The rest of that city ain't seeing none of that money. It sounds good in the beginning, but that's never the goal. Last word to you.
Maybe it's wishful thinking, and I just thought that if the whole premises was to actually hypothetically care, then that would have been a good plan to help everybody. But you're right. I guess when you don't care and you have bad intentions, I was just thinking on the good side, right? You know what? I mean, the people have been suffering for 80 plus years, right? It's a beautiful island. I've visited it many times. You know, it's best beaches in the world.
Oh, you've been to Cuba?
I've been to Cuba 2-3 times. I've been to Havana. I've been to actually Cayacoco. I mean, if you go there on the premises of helping the Cuban people, then it's okay. That's the way they get. That's what
we don't even help them out during a hurricane. You hear hurricanes headed toward Florida. They'll show you the map. Hurricanes just all over Cuba swirling. You don't hear no news stories and shit. They be like, "What's going to hit Key West next week?" Like, what about the people that are under it right now? They don't even cover that shit. So we don't care nothing about them people.
And you know what it is, and I'll leave it on this, and I'll let you get back to another person. But I just wanted to say that the way that our country has become, where, like you talked about in your last segment about, transgender, that doesn't matter, man. That people are just struggling to keep things going, let alone 1% of the population, which, do I agree with it? No. Does it affect me? No. So why do I be bothered by it? It really does not make a thing in my life. If you ask most MAGA people or most Republicans, does this affect you? The answer is always no. But Donald Trump has created this illusion, just like the election stuff. There was never a problem until Donald Trump told you there was a problem, right? Remember, he won in 2016. He won in 2024. And yes, Donald Trump won. I can say that. I can say Donald Trump won the election. The problem is he has created an atmosphere that we can't say war. We can't say who won. And it's hundreds of millions of people in our country, and that is to the detriment of America, and I'll leave it on that.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks for coming up, Bob. Come on back anytime. Appreciate it. Tap the screen, get the lights on up to 60,000. Had Mustache, show your boy some love. Help out with the Had Mustache TikTok cap goals, if you will. I bet you vaccine Nazis miss scamdemics, huh? LOL. I don't know, what is a vaccine Nazi? I don't know, because I do recall the pandemic originally happening under Trump, then going on to Biden. Under Trump, we were told to wear masks. Things were shutting down under Trump, and things shut down under Biden. I think the only difference is, and I don't want to go too deep into the pandemic. I see one of my viewers sent the super chat, so I'll address it briefly. But fact is, when Dr. Fauci was giving out instructions that people do not like, he gave out instructions on the pandemic under Trump. Then he also gave out instructions under Biden. For some reason, MAGA views Dr. Fauci as a liberal. So any instructions Dr. Fauci gave out, they give Biden also credit, and the liberals also credit for the instructions. Even though a lot of the shit Dr. Fauci was telling people to do, Trump was on television standing next to him as the president of the United States. So they're separating Fauci and Trump under Trump's administration. But when Fauci was giving instructions under Biden, now they're all of a sudden a team. And some of that looks fucking cult-like to me. Trump was on TV with Dr. Fauci telling you to wash your groceries and all kinds of shit. How does he not get the blame for that? But then when Fauci goes on television during the Biden administration, now we want to blame all the shit he's saying on the liberals. But when he was saying it under Republicans, no responsibility goes on Trump. Make that shit make sense. In the comment on the screen, by the way, thank you, who's it, Bruce? Thank you for the laughing disco, Bruce. Going straight back to the box. And before I bring up the next guest, I do want to mention this one more time, because I haven't discussed this with any other callers yet. But I do want to get somebody's opinion on this, or several people's opinion on this, because to me, I'm upset by it. I don't like how it looks, and it fits into the narrative of my last caller talking about grifting.
Navy is weighing whether to rename a carrier that was supposed to be named after a war hero from Waco to now naming it after President Trump. The USS Doris Miller is currently under construction. It was set to honor a sailor from Central Texas for his heroic actions during the attack on Pearl Harbor, where he took control of an anti-aircraft gun despite receiving no training and opened fire on Japanese planes, later helping his fellow sailors to safety. But 3 sources familiar with internal discussions told CNN that the Navy was considering to change the name. 2 of the sources said there have been internal conversations to name it after President Trump. It would be an unprecedented move for the Navy to name an aircraft carrier after a sitting president.
The sitting president. I just want to, before we go to the next caller, you guys heard when Kamala Harris got the appointment, everybody was saying DEI. She wasn't qualified. She didn't earn it. You know, they say the acronym's DEI. The naysayers say it stands for didn't earn it. You know, Kamala Harris not. How the hell is Trump getting a carrier named after him? And this guy, Dory Miller, the sailor, first African-American sailor to be awarded the Navy Cross. You see him pictured here wearing the medal. During the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, you know, he took control of a AAA gun, an anti-aircraft artillery gun. which he was not trained to use because African Americans could not even serve in combat roles back then just because they were black. But he took control of the gun and was firing at Japanese aircraft flying overhead until he ran out of bullets. Then he started dragging his comrades to safety that had been wounded. He also dragged his mortally wounded captain as well. He was awarded that Navy Cross by Nimitz himself, who Nimitz also has a carrier that was named after him. And to me, this guy is the definition of merit. The definition of merit. How the hell does his carrier potentially get replaced with President Trump's name? How is Trump not the DEI person in this story? Where's MAGA? You want to talk about didn't earn it? Trump hasn't earned a carrier being named after him. Where's the MAGA side of the aisle when they're talking about DEI? You can see it in Kamala Harris, but not in this shit. Now, keep in mind, Trump also was the one that stopped the Harriet Tubman $20 bill from coming out in his first term. Different conversation, though. We can talk about that another time. But how does this look? Done more for African Americans than anybody since Abraham Lincoln. Let me go back to the box. That's what Trump often says. He's done more for African Americans than anybody since Abraham Lincoln. We'll go to Mike, the boss. Good evening, Mike. What do you get for your wages? Bezos workers are poorly something. I don't know. You guys are talking amongst each other. Did Mike come up? Apparently not. We'll try it again. MAGA reacts. Don't forget, he still wants his name on the Kennedy Center. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't get it. MAGA, good evening.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. Have you heard this story, Dory Miller?
Just what you just told about it.
What's your opinion?
I don't know. I don't know. I need to know more. I don't think Trump should go first. I think we should go with this guy.
Okay. So you would see this as...
That's my opinion today.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, do you think his name should be on any carrier? Do you think he has earned? Do you think President Trump has earned putting his name on an aircraft carrier while he's still alive, by the way?
I think he's earned it, but
earned it how?
This guy should be named.
Earned it how?
What do you mean? Trump has changed everything about our politics. He changed so much. He basically changed the world in a way that's never going to go back. And I think he changed it for the better.
Really? Give me some examples.
You know?
Give me some examples.
Well, before Trump, you could get away with like a lot of shit as a politician. And we just elected people just because they're pro-life or pro-choice. Now, like, people have to stand up to a lot more scrutiny than they were before, you know?
Huh? Wait. You said before Trump, politicians can get away with a lot of shit. So Trump has made it so politicians can now not get away with a lot of shit?
Yeah, because look how hard look how much more people are paying attention. Just because Trump got so many more people engaged in politics in a way they were never engaged before.
So he's trying to...
People are engaged in politics. It's very hard to lie to them and very hard to, it's harder. You can still do it, but it's harder to lie to people when they're so engaged in politics. Before, they weren't paying attention, so you get away with murder.
You do realize he's trying to appoint Darlene Graham, Lindsey Graham's sister, to South Carolina Senate. She has zero qualifications, zero experience. But you're saying politicians can't get away with stuff.
Yeah, before he would have been able to do that, no problem. Now he's actually he has a problem. The fact that she sucks.
She's currently in there now.
Fucking elected and everything.
She's currently in there now. She's currently a senator as we speak. No qualifications.
I mean, she's doing the same job as Mitch McConnell, and he's fucking dead.
Same
job as fucking what's her name that was also dead in a wheelchair.
I don't see what he stopped you from getting away with.
What's up?
You said
people were paying attention. Like you would have, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you wouldn't even know about any of this shit. You know, people would be like, "Who gives a fuck?" Or you wouldn't hear about it. No one would care.
You just
now
said
you actually care and you're paying attention.
But she's in there, and you said she's doing the same job as Mitch McConnell, somebody that people think is essentially dead. So you're admitting he put somebody in the Senate that's not doing anything at all, and somehow you believe that makes us better?
Yeah, because at least now you know, and it's hurting him. You know, shit like this is not gonna help him.
Is it hurting
I think so. Yeah, I agree with you. He should have picked that other lady, the one that ran against him, Nikki Haley. I don't know if she wanted the job, but I would have preferred her way over this sister.
Yeah. Well, you do realize as we speak right now, he's in South Carolina campaigning for this woman to serve a full term now.
Listen, that's the other thing. Like, I think she's qualified just
What?
the same way fucking Harris was qualified.
Bullshit.
It's a popularity contest, Tim. She just has to be popular to win. That's the only qualification you need. So when you tell me like Harris being a senator is makes her qualified, I'm like, no, she's just popular, or not even popular. She just, you know, she got through because it was a heavy fucking D, and this is like the opposite of Harris. This is Harris, but in fucking South Carolina. So the same way you don't think this lady's qualified is the same way Harris wasn't qualified, but she got the job anyway because it's deep
First of all, Harris held down several positions that required her to campaign and get elected. You know, she was attorney general. She also was a state senator. You got to campaign and win that. You got to convince the people to vote for you. You got to win. So Biden appointed her to VP, but she had won positions. So, I mean, obviously she didn't have a lot on her record that was horrible. Otherwise, Biden would have never appointed her as VP. So you're trying to say both of these folks are equally unqualified. I think it's like night and day.
Yeah. No, I think it's the same shit. At least that's how I feel. Because Harris, if you replaced them, the same shit would have happened. You just didn't pay attention back then. Unqualified Harris got through the same way this unqualified, whatever her fucking name is, Graham is going to get through. It's the same way. It's the same way they all get elected.
Did you think Trump was qualified?
Get away with this.
Did you think Trump was qualified? Did you think Trump was qualified?
Are we talking about the first time or the second time?
Period.
Well, the second time he was the most qualified person because he was president.
What about the
for 4
first
years.
time?
The first time he was qualified because he ran a big business and dealt with these people all the time, and he had the experience and like the know-how to like run a giant business like that. And he had international ties and he had political ties.
What about Obama?
Yeah, I think he was very qualified.
Was Obama qualified?
In some ways, he was very qualified. In other ways,
give me some examples. Give me the qualified ways, and then give me the ways he was unqualified. Talking about Obama.
I mean, he was qualified because he was a very smart and charismatic person.
And Kamala Harris was not?
Oh, fuck no.
She was not smart?
Do a 1 hour interview.
You don't think Kamala Harris is smart?
Smart she is, but if you can't do 1 hour with fucking Joe Rogan and barely do half an hour with Brett Barr, I mean, fuck. The only time she did good was when she debated Trump, but she knew all the answers because we knew exactly everything Trump was going to say. So she had all the answers memorized.
Well, I would tell you
I mean,
this.
she's the kind of, there's two kinds of smart. There's the kind of smart where you do your homework and you get all your work done and you get good grades because of that. And then there's the kind of smart where like you're a problem solver, you figure shit out on the fly, and you're just a smart person that's just you do shit on the fly. She's does her homework kind of smart, and that's not necessarily like a smart person.
Well, I think Trump, because you say answer things on the fly and things like that. I mean, Trump lies on the fly, and it works. I mean, Trump would just say some shit that sounds really good to the people that he knows is not true or something he has no intentions of doing, or some crazy shit like they're eating cats and dogs, and people walk away like, well, he's qualified. I don't get it.
Well, that's one of it. It's a popularity contest, and one of the things you do as a fucking president is listen to the people, and that just shows how much he listens to the people. He listens to all their bullshit, whether it's about cats and dogs or the election or whatever. You can't say that Trump doesn't listen to the people because you guys.
What people are telling him?
Around.
What people is he listening to that gave him that people are eating cats and dogs?
MAGA, everybody online, everyone that saw that video of that lady in Ohio eating a fucking cat. I mean, he's absorbing, or he's getting all the same fucking information we are, plus more.
Okay, first of all, the video that you're talking about in Ohio. Okay, so you see one person, and you say that you got people thinking the whole fucking town is doing this because of the actions of one person.
That's usually how proof works. An example gets blown out of proportion, and everyone believed it off that one video.
Because they don't like black people, MAGA. Because they don't like black people. They don't like Haitians. It's easy to believe people to do crazy shit when you're already fucking racist.
It wasn't that we forced that lady to be black. Where's the video of a white person eating a cat?
I can show you. There's fucking videos of white people fucking kids. You don't believe they believe them all are pedophiles, do you? I mean, come on now. One person, and you gonna seriously?
Look, this is where you're like, you're
it's crazy.
We saw it with our own eyes. I mean, so what? It turned out to be not a fucking Haitian. It's still very close to the things we were looking for.
Let me tell you how this works. Let me tell you how.
And then you forget that.
Let me tell you how
racism. Santeria and voodoo.
Let me tell you how. This is how racism works. This is how racism works. If you are racist against a community, all you need to do is see one person from that community doing something, and you'll dirty up the whole fucking community. No matter how many white people Trump see doing something wrong, he's never going to say all white people do that. But if he sees one immigrant or one gay person or one trans person doing something, they're going to mark the whole group up. That's how hate and racism work. I don't care how many bad cops somebody see on video. They're never going to say all cops are like that. But for some, all you need is one trans or just one Haitian, and you're going to mark up the whole fucking community. That's how hate works. It doesn't take much when you already hate the people. That's where it's coming from.
No.
Yes.
That's how stereotype.
Yes.
That's how a stereotype works. And stereotypes, they're
they're stereotyping everybody but white people. Yeah, they're stereotyping everybody but white people.
Because white people's also not really an identity. Two white people could be completely different, but being Haitian, that's an identity because you're.
So two Haitian people can't be different.
I mean, they can be, but it's not really an identity. Like two white people, you could have a white person from South Africa and a white person from fucking Scandinavia, and they got nothing in common other than being white. So it's really hard to stereotype them because they're not the same. Versus a bunch of people from Haiti, a bunch of people from Somalia, a bunch of people from a country. I mean, when you get down to the country, that's really that's not fucking. Just
to get clarity for my audience and all of them. I want to make sure I get clarity. I'm going to ask you this question. You are not racist, correct?
No, I don't believe so, but I'm sure you'll find a way. Not you, but I'm sure Michael will come up here and call me racist. Everybody's racist.
You got a guess. Didn't count. What's up?
Oh, fucking little Michael. Go ahead.
Didn't count. Go ahead.
He said he don't think
so. Yeah, he said he don't think Michael. He said he don't think he's racist. Go ahead, Dick Cow.
He just said, well, if you take a white person from South Africa and you take a person from America, you can't tell. One thing you can tell is
they're not the same.
They call themselves Christians, and both of them don't give a shit about black people.
Yeah. He said, I don't think so. I'm gonna make a MAGA. I'm going to make a short where I asked you, "Are you racist?" You said, "I don't think so."
I mean, everyone's racist and everyone's not racist.
Yeah, I don't think so.
There's levels to this shit, Tim. There's levels to this shit.
Yeah, there's levels. All right, go ahead, Dick Cow. What did you say?
Just for the record, if he paid attention to anything, any news or whatever. Everybody understands that lady that was eating the dogs or eating that cat was not even from Springfield or wherever that he was talking about. And she was a woman with a mental.
I said Ohio. I didn't say Springfield.
To do with being any race or any kind of heritage.
Yeah,
They used that one damn picture and they plastered and they pasted the whole damn. They painted the whole damn Haitian community as being some fucking savages.
Yeah. And that woman was mentally ill. He's right. That woman was mentally ill.
Listen, I dated a Haitian. I've been to a Haitian church. Have you ever been there? It smells like pure blood from all the chicken and probably cat sacrifice.
So now Haitians stink.
Oh my God.
No, have you been to a Haitian church? I live in North Miami, buddy. I've been growing up with Haitians all my life.
He asked, how do you know what a whole bunch of blood smell like? What are you, a fucking coroner?
No, because I've cooked fucking food before. What do you mean? Have you never cooked any food? You
Yeah, and I don't think, look, I cook chicken and shit. It don't smell like a bag of blood. How do you know this?
Yes, it does. When you open the fucking bag of chicken, especially if it's been frozen and defrosted, you smell fucking blood. Unless you're getting some like old ass chicken that's not fresh.
He makes the connection that this place smells like blood, so they must be doing some ancient goddamn rituals in the basement.
No, I know for a fact. I've talked to them. I've asked them about it.
Wow.
They're literally in their church. We're fucking killing animals. I think it was chicken. It could have been a cat. I know for a fact it was chicken.
In
I
the
don't know
church.
for a fact it was a cat.
So they in there sacrificing pets.
It's chicken. So
in the name of Jesus.
I don't know. Well, that's how they do it. I don't know. You act like you Google Santeria and how it works.
I don't know what. I can't stop laughing. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, it's not like I created this shit. It's not like
I can't stop fucking laughing.
I could go down to the Easter Market downtown Detroit, and I can walk in there and I can get them to kill a damn chicken or a turkey right there on the spot. They'll slit his neck right through, or they'll swing him around and snap his neck. That don't mean they do rituals. They were probably just skinning the damn chickens to eat them.
In church?
People cooking. People do cooking. People cook in church. They have dinners and
this
everything.
is at the altar of the church. This is the front, the altar.
Right. He said you definitely never been. Yeah, he said you definitely never been to a black church because they plenty of shit get cooked in the basement or in the back room of churches all over the country. I've eaten meals at church.
This is the altar. This is where they do the ritual. This is where they do the praying. The altar of a church.
Yeah, but it could have been being cooked in a different part of the church, and the sin just came there.
No, this is straight up blood at the altar. There was no kitchen nearby or anything like that.
Did you? What did you do? Did you run out of there? What did you do? What did you do when you went in there and you smelled nothing but blood? Did you run out of there? Or did you sit through service?
It wasn't a service. It was after hours. But no,
what the fuck? Why are you in the church after hours? What were you doing? They trying to sacrifice your ass?
No, I was working for Haitians and I was dating a Haitian. Actually, no. I think the people I were working for weren't Haitian. They were.
Make it sound like they were going. You make it sound like they were going to cut open your stomach, pull out the guts, and see how MAGA reacts, huh? That doesn't.
This was like 20 years ago.
I don't get it. So you in the church after hours? What are you doing in there?
So it was a business meeting, and then we prayed on on the success of our business venture.
Did you?
No, I just saw the blood stains and the smell.
So you made the connection. You done made up this whole story.
Right.
From the smell.
There's no makeup anything. You can Google this shit.
I ain't never heard what you talking about.
You can Google this shit.
This is the funniest shit I've ever heard.
Maybe you're not used to churches with altars, but this church has an altar, and the altar clearly smelled like blood and had blood stains. So I don't know what to tell you. Like,
isn't that illegal? Did you report them?
I don't think sacrificing chicken's illegal. Sacrificing cat, if I have proof of that, or if they. Also, this was 20 years ago before we all had fucking cell phones in our pockets. I could record in high def.
So the president says that people is eating cats and dogs, and you took this situation that happened 20 years ago when you don't even know what the fuck really happened, and you made the leap that Haitians eat cats and dogs, and Trump was justified.
I don't have to make any leaps. This is a well-known thing that voodoo
it's
and
not well-known
involves. Google it. You have a computer behind you. Google the fucking Santeria and voodoo.
It's not well known that Haitians that live in America are eating cats. It wouldn't have, if that was the case, it wouldn't have been shocking when he said it. I mean, we know that
I
already.
also says chicken. I have no proof of any pets. I'm just gonna be wholesome and say it was chickens.
Well,
goddamn, we slaughter 1 million chickens a day here in America.
Right. I wouldn't mind slaughtering one right now, goddamn. And I'm hungry. Oh my God.
I'm not saying anything of it. It just that's not even the reason I came up here. We have to finish our conversation about Mr. Anthony, Carmelo Anthony.
What do you? I haven't. Give me what you got briefly, because I haven't researched that, so I'm not gonna. I don't have any counterpoint.
Did you not read the text messages that fucking Mike was trying to say they were wholesome, bro? He fucking Anthony texts his girlfriend that he wants to stab somebody and lick the blood off the knife. Literally a text message he sent this girl that was complaining he was stalking her, and he sent a text message about fucking wanting to fucking go to shoot up the school. And he sent a text message saying he was on the verge of going crazy. He sent all these crazy text messages to his ex-girlfriend. And let me be fair, Metcalf, when he was like 5 years younger, he did some fucking racist shit, painting graffiti and shit like that. So both of them had really fucked up shit in their history.
Hold on. Dinkel got a counter. Dinkel, go ahead, Dinkel.
Spell it out. What he done. Spell it out just like you.
He did some racist shit. He spray painted KKK and a bunch of shit when he was like 5 years younger versus the day before. The one was like 3, 4, 5 years before when he was in like middle school. With Anthony, it was like the day before. He was telling his girlfriend how he's about to go crazy and how he wants to.
No, wait. What exactly did? What kind of racist? Define racist. Hold on. Define racist shit. What exactly did he do?
They spray paint his like KKK, kill everyone. I mean, I don't want to say kill all black people. I think it was just KKK, kill, and some other fucking shit like that.
Okay, now Dinkel is indicating he can specify it more clear. Go ahead, Dinkel. What did he do?
Go ahead, Dinkel.
He said kill all the N-words. He did not say kill everyone. And he's got,
okay, I was being nice, but go ahead.
High school where he has threatened people, he has punched girls. This ain't all happened no.
Oh, they both have. They both punch girls. That's another thing.
Well, then why didn't you lay it out like that? Then don't try to make it.
I didn't get to it.
Well, you just said he did some racist shit, which doesn't sound anywhere near as awful as what Dinkel pointed out. It sounds a lot worse when you give it to it in detail. Racist shit could be you quoted some Archie Bunker shit. I mean, that could be anything. But when you start talking about killing all black people, that's way worse. And using the N-word in the process.
Okay. I agree with you. I could have been more detailed. I just didn't have it in front of me to be as detailed as I could.
He threatened a teacher in school when he was in high school. So
okay, that could mean anything. Most of the racist shit happened when he was in middle school.
Well, I'll just say this: it definitely paints him in a picture as being something more sinister than just an all-American football hero, which is what he's been portrayed as. It makes it sound like, I'm not saying he deserved to die. Still, I'm not saying that. I still have not seen anything that justifies Carmelo Anthony stabbing him. I think Carmelo Anthony got way too much time. But hearing that this dude was an ardent racist is starting to make him look more darker, and it makes it clear that from what I've heard, these folks had prior contact with each other. So it makes me want to know more.
They don't have any prior contact. They knew nothing about each other before that day.
So as
far as I know, there's no evidence of prior contact.
They had never talked to each other or anything.
They don't know anything about each other. We just know that Carmelo Anthony was texting his girlfriend that he's gonna fucking stab someone, and the next day, the first person he sees, not the first person he sees, but he runs into Metcalf the next day and he stabs him after telling his girlfriend he's gonna stab someone the fucking night before. And yeah, I mean, there's a.
I wish Mike is. I look for Mike is not in the cover because Mike is really well versed on this. I tried to get him.
Nobody's biased as fuck because he didn't mention any of this shit.
I mean, shit, you biased too. Talking about blood in churches and shit.
At least I mentioned it. At least I mentioned it.
Whoa, thank you, conservative. Thank you very much.
He would kill me and you, the host.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Yeah, it absolutely sounds like.
I can't hear Denkel.
for some reason it's a little lower, but I'll relate if I have to. But yeah, it absolutely paints Austin Metcalf as he's not, like I said, he looks like an all-American football hero in all of the, a Ken doll, some shit, a Ken doll with muscles. He looks like a nice kid the way they're portraying him. But yeah, all of this N-word shit, I had never heard any of that stuff. Painting.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, we have the text messages straight from the phone with Carmelo Anthony, where all this shit with Metcalf is like we're hearing it like somebody telling us about it. So we don't have the actual graffiti or the text messages. We don't know like what actually.
Well, witnesses. I mean, it sounds like more witnesses need to be brought forward. Because this is kind of like when what is his name, O.J. Simpson, and they were able to prove Mark Furman had used the N-word and shit. If the person that you're dealing with was a racist and shit like that, it's easier to believe that maybe what this guy did may have been rooted in something. I want to know. Like I said, I still don't think Carmelo Anthony had a right to take his life, but I want to know.
Plus, the kid was like 10, 12 years old. He's fucking 17 now, so I think he might have changed in the last 5-6 years.
MAGA says Nick Dinkow says that's not true, and your age difference.
That's when it started when he was that age, but it progressed through middle school all the way into high school.
No. Most of the racist shit was when he was in middle school. As far as I know, the high school shit is all like him being aggressive and violent. And that's all fucking people his age.
Well, shit, if he's aggressive and violent, what are the chances that when he got stabbed, he was being aggressive and violent then? He may have been on the cusp of being aggressive and violent when he shanked him. That's starting to make a self-defense discussion come into play.
No, violent is me like stretching it. He was very aggressive, but barely violent. I don't think he was violent at all. I mean, you be the judge. Fuck it. I think they were evenly fucked up and keeping it out.
The judge in the case got recused.
Yeah, we do want to be. Yeah.
Because he didn't want anything to do with this shit. He wanted to be like, get me out of this shit.
No,
let the next person decide.
It sounded to me like the all-American football players, the image they wanted to portray, and they didn't want this stuff to come to surface because, yeah, I think he would have got a lot more African-American support talking about Carmelo Anthony if folks had this confirmation that this dude was so fucking racist. I didn't hear about it.
I think it would have hurt him. All the shit that I'm not even doing it justice. Go look at all the Anthony text messages. That shit would have hurt him way more than the other shit would have helped him.
Well, he got 35 years, so you can't do no worse to Carmelo Anthony. Right. You can't do no worse to him. I mean, he don't got motherfuckers get double murder and they don't do 35 years. So you've done as much as you can do to Carmelo Anthony. We need to know more about Austin Metcalf at this point.
He gets parole after half. He could have gotten a way higher murder charge, including the death penalty.
If you can prove that the guy who came up to him and told him to get out of that tent and pushed him was a known racist, that changes the whole trajectory of the case.
That's a good point.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it does.
There is no reasonable doubt. We know he stabbed him. There's no reasonable doubt when it comes to stabbing fucking the guy. We know he stabbed him, and he's fantasizing about stabbing someone the night before.
The argument from Carmelo Anthony that he tried to use was self-defense, and we're looking at it like this was a good kid. There's no reason why you had to do that. But yeah, if we get proof that this dude had a thing against black people, it's like a cop. You don't supposed to resist arrest or anything like that. But if the guy is pleading that the cop was going to fuck me up and we can show that the cop was racist, it's going to change the mindset of people in a case like that. Like I said, I still am not sold on. I'm not sold on the guy needed to die. I'm not sold on he needed to be stabbed. But I didn't know all this racist shit. I need to hear more about it.
He could be as racist as he wants. He didn't stab anyone, Tim. If you would have stabbed someone and tried to claim self-defense, then you could be like, oh, no, he was just racist.
Okay, what did you say, Dinko?
He didn't stab anyone.
Okay. It says information about Metcalf's past has also emerged. Court records presented at the hearing included allegations that Metcalf and his twin brother Hunter had previously spray painted racist and anti-Semitic graffiti, including references to the KKK and Hitler, and were placed on juvenile probation. They got a history.
Yeah, how old?
Hold on.
Include allegations that Metcalf used racial slurs at school and bullied a black student.
How old when they did the graffiti?
Included others incidents involving aggression and profanity.
He's saying how old are these incidents? He's questioning how old are these incidents?
Specifically the graffiti one. Don't give me the last one.
I understand it doesn't give his age when it happened. It did say he was put on juvenile probation. But juvenile probation can go all the way up to 16.
Yeah. I gotta move it on,
It was
gentlemen.
middle school.
All right. I gotta move it on
I got
for
one
time.
last thing though.
Real quick. All right, Denkel, I gotta move on too.
All right.
Thank you. Real quick.
Anthony was literally fantasizing about stabbing someone the night before. His girlfriend went to talk about him stalking her the night before. And then he's stabbing someone the day after. He's like tells her he's been fantasizing about stabbing someone. I mean, this is a no-brainer, Tim.
I need
hurt him way more than helped him.
But I'm going to tell you, even if you got a case that's a no-brainer, when you start hiding information like this dude is an ardent racist and all that in his past, you can snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. That should have came out. That absolutely should have came out, that this guy has a history of being a racist and painting signs like kill all Negroes and shit. That's got to come out. That needs to be, now the fact that it's coming out after the fact may fuck up their conviction. I think at the very least it's probably going to end up resulting in Carmelo Anthony's 35 years getting reduced. I don't think he had the right to kill a guy. I think 35 years is heavy. And hearing this, I feel more confident in that statement. And I'm only hearing some of it. There may be more. They've hidden stuff about Austin Metcalf. We need to hear that stuff. I got to go.
I don't know. There's also some shit about a gun. They both fantasize about
the fact that things are hidden, the fact that stuff didn't come out like this is not helping Austin Metcalf. I gotta go, and I say that because
it helped them both equally.
Carmelo, no, it didn't help Carmelo. It didn't help Carmelo Anthony at all. He got 35 fucking years. It didn't help him out at all. He got the book thrown at him. He got 35. Like I said, you got motherfuckers who kill more than one person and don't get 35 years. You get people who killed more than one person that don't get that. So it didn't help Carmelo Anthony out at all. It ain't much more you can do. But the image of Austin Metcalf is far more cleaner than it should be. Because they hid a lot. Look, even if Carmelo Anthony deserved a 35 years, deserved a murder charge, whatever you want to say, Austin Metcalf does not deserve the clean image. He does not deserve the clean image that he has. So we'll start there. I don't care what you think Carmelo Anthony deserves. Austin Metcalf does not deserve the clean image he has. So it should have came out. That's all I'm saying. In the comments, though, tap the screen, and somebody said the system is set up for whites. It is Texas, too. So I could believe that Austin came at Carmelo really aggressive due to his racist past. It depends on the jury. It depends on the jury. I'll just say it like this. I'm still not sold. I've said it many times. I'm not sold that Carmelo Anthony had to stab the guy. But I start hearing racism and all this other shit. If I'm on a jury, you're not getting 35 years out of me. You're not. That stuff, once you start painting him like that, it's kind of like with the George Floyd case. Even though people are witnessing George Floyd being mistreated, being killed, they bring up all of the dirty shit you've done to dirty you up because that affects how people feel about you. That would have affected how people felt about Austin Metcalf. If folks knew he had a history of racism, they still may have convicted Carmelo Anthony. They still may have found what Carmelo Anthony did was murder. But that would have absolutely affected how people felt of Austin Metcalf, his dad on TV, all of them painting this guy out as some kind of all-American football hero. This guy's a racist. He's a racist. So what ends up happening is, yeah, maybe your son was wrongfully killed. Maybe Carmelo Anthony deserved the sentence he got, whatever the case may be. But it paints a horrible image of your late son. And as a father, indicating you have a close relationship with him, what the hell kind of guy are you like? We need to know that. Because racism is not gathered any other way than by being taught. If he's doing this in school at the elementary level, what the fuck is going on at home? We want to know that. All of that was kept from the courts. I'm giving you that without even trying to exonerate Carmelo Anthony. Maybe Carmelo Anthony deserved the sentence, and maybe Carmelo Anthony deserved that sentence and every single day he was given. But Austin Metcalf does not deserve the image of a clean, squeaky football player that he has. His image is tainted. And that should come out. That's what I'm saying. That should absolutely come out. Father all over TV portraying himself as the victim. Your son like that at that young age? Did you raise him? Where did he pick that up at? Because they normally get it from people like you, the parents. Where did he pick all that shit up at? I want to know. Tap the screen, get the likes up to 110, if you will. The father is like this since B3. That's usually what happens. That is usually what happens. That's why they didn't want that part to come out. Smart move by the prosecutor. But it's out now, and it's going to probably end up causing him to get a retrial. And it may, I think at the very least, if Austin Metcalf gets a retrial, that 35 years is going to come down. I'm not saying Austin is going to walk. I still don't say he's innocent. But I believe in light of what they've done in court, deliberately trying to paint a clean image for somebody that did not deserve it, they're going to end up shortening his sentence some. I really believe that. That fuck up is going to cause that kid to get a shorter sentence. It shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. Let me go back to the box. We'll make it happen with Gangsta Grandma. Good evening, Gangsta. Welcome to the program.
Hey, so Tim, what? Look, he's racist. I mean, come on, people are always saying that he wasn't racist. Look at that shit.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
It don't look good. It don't look good. He was a racist piece of shit. You know, all the white tea people, oh my God, he's not racist. He's just a kid. You know how he was doing.
And hang on a second. In the comments, one of my viewers, Ruben, says, well, Tim, Austin is dead, so he can't say much. Neither can fucking George Floyd. Trayvon Martin can't say shit either. That don't stop people from ruining their images. So if this dude is a racist, we want to know. We want to know what they're saying.
He deserved what he got. How about that? I'll say it.
I haven't seen enough to suggest he deserves to be stabbed. I haven't seen that.
Let me tell you something. All the white tea motherfuckers that are listening, you teach your kids to have hatred, and they put their hands on a black kid, you're going to get your ass whooped. I tell my kids, when my kids were growing up, if somebody's calling you the N-word, they put their hands on you, show them what the N-word's going to be about. My kids whoop their asses. What are you talking about? I never let my kids be like, no, you got me fucked
Well,
up.
first of all, Carmelo Anthony was smaller, and he wasn't going to win a fist fight. He was not going to win a fist fight.
Well, then he should keep his white teeth looking no good for nothing else mouth shut. Then maybe he would have been alive. But see, they think they call us whatever the fuck we want. You know, you don't pop around to find out. On God.
I don't know. To me, no, you're not like me. No, you're more confrontational than me. To me, I believe you. Yeah, I believe you win. I believe you win. I believe every fight you avoid, you win. So I don't think Carmelo Anthony should even went over there by now.
Tim, you missed something today, Tim. You don't love me. I want a divorce. Guess what I did today, Tim? And our people went over there. I was on live. I only stayed for a little bit, but your old ass didn't even pop up.
What are you talking about? What are you referring to?
Me. I was on live.
Oh, you hosted a live?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And my little homies, Finn and all of them came through to show some love. My TikTok husband, I think he was, he came by to say hi, but not your ugly ass.
I was working. I do work for the man. I don't get a lot of fucking TikTok caps and hat mustaches. I have to work. I got 4 TikTok caps.
Oh, I gave you some, and you couldn't even say thank you. Thank you. You didn't say thank you to me. Sure did.
Did you say you just gave me some? Did you give me some?
No, I didn't. I when you came, when I came up, like right when you started showing, I used to show me some love. I showed you ugly ass some love.
Well, you got more than one account because I did bring you up and you weren't there.
I know.
Yeah, so don't blame it on me. Don't blame it on me.
Shut up. Yeah, it's like I can't. I want my divorce papers. But anyways, Tim, you know, the white team, man, always wants to talk bad shit. Always wants to come up and call us the N-word and fuck around. You gonna fuck around and find out. See, these motherfuckers went down our ancestors. Our ancestors didn't have the shit we got now. You gonna fuck around and find out. I wish that
So you believe this was a legitimate stabbing?
If he was in his face, he put his hands on that boy, shit.
What happened to kids just fighting? Now you got. I mean, anybody that fucks with you in school, you can murder them now.
If you put your hands on somebody, when you put your hands on somebody, you give them the every right to whoop your ass. That's called self-defense.
He didn't try to whoop his ass, Gacy. He killed him.
Well, you know what? You'll fuck around and find out. That's what it is, dog. Like, come on now. You will come up, call me an N-word. I wish a napkin person would do that shit. I wish a napkin person would do that to me. Come up, put their hands on me, touch me. Oh, Lord.
I don't like it.
Get my happy ass out.
I don't like it. I mean, look, kids in school.
You don't like nothing. I think you like a fucking uncooked protein for JJ. That's all you like. You like it. You just love the uncooked meat so much that you allow a motherfucker put their hands on you.
No. I think it's just it ain't that I love uncooked meat. I think you got an issue. You got an issue with white women.
Look at that, Jim. Look at that. Look at my picture. I have a white wall. Look at my picture. You could tell my ass from the white wall. I got some color in me. You look at that. You put that on the white wall. Boy, let me tell you.
Okay, she is fair. She is fair skinned, but is she not attractive?
Hell no.
Oh, come on. You find what is her name? Natalie Hart. Trump says you think she's unattractive?
I would F that if it was my dog. That is some that is beneath me. That's like a peasant. I couldn't fuck with that. That is nasty.
Oh my God.
That's a nasty shit, dog. That could never. I could never. I would be abstinent for the rest of my life. If they told me I had to fuck that, I would be abstinent for the rest of my fucking life. No, dog. I mean, you say, you know what, Tim? I swear you not. On she's all white, Tim.
She's a Caucasian woman. Of course she's white.
My picture, look at me. My picture, Tim, on gets my white wall. You can know I got some color in me.
Well, then that means you sound just like somebody who does not like white skin. That's what you just sound like.
I don't like the maggots. I don't, Tim. What do you want me to do? Yeah, I've always been clear. The white team maggots, the brown maggots, the black maggots, I don't like their asses. They nasty. They put us in this situation.
I don't see nothing wrong with her. I think she's a nice looking. She's like in her 30s.
That's ugly. That's fucking fugly. That is fucking fugly.
I suppose. I mean, look, Trump has never been.
Who has not a real picture? Me? Oh, honey, boo boo. Yes, Pookie. This is the real me. Because if you go on my real page, where I have almost 9,000 people, the guy that took my pics is in my comments, bitch. Yeah,
let me make something clear.
His name is Robert.
Trump don't hang around unattractive women, gangster. He does not hang around unattractive women.
I don't know, Tim. I mean, I mean, if that's attractive to you, you'll fuck anything. Well, you'll fuck a hole in the wall, Tim. So men will fuck anything. You guys will see a few
Give me your example of give me 3 celebrities you find that you think look decent, that you find attractive. Women.
I don't. You know what, Tim? I don't fantasize about.
Okay, so any woman I put up there, you're gonna say she's not attractive, then, right?
No.
Give me somebody you would not say is unattractive.
If it's black and brown women and they fine, I'll tell you if they fine. What are you talking about?
It has to be a black or brown woman.
Isn't that the smut that's writing?
Wait a minute.
President little letters?
So you're saying
Isn't that the smut?
So you're saying for you to find a woman that's not unattractive, she has to be black or brown. So you're going to say this about any white woman?
I don't like them, Tim. Not like in that sexual way, Tim. That's just.
This ain't got nothing to do. Look, hold on. Hang on a second. Hold on. I know a lot of women. When as a Gen Xer, I know a lot of women find Gen X guys like LL Cool J or Gen X guys like Shamar more attractive. I think they're decently. That don't mean I find. Hang on. Let me finish my statement. That don't mean I have any. Can I finish my statement? Just because you say a person of the same sex is decent looking doesn't mean you have an attraction to them. What I'm saying is there anybody that is Caucasian that you would find decent looking?
No. I don't find them attractive because I'm not sexually attracted to the ass.
Why does sexually attractive got to keep coming into it?
Because you asked it.
So you cannot find. So unless you're sexually, so you cannot find a person being decent looking unless you're sexually attracted to them.
I don't fuck with white tea.
You got kids? You got children?
You know I got.
Are they decent? Are your children decent looking? Can you say that?
My kids are gorgeous. They black.
How could you judge it? You said you had to be sexually attractive before you could make the
No, I'm talking about that shit right there. You can put any woman up and she's gorgeous, I'll tell you. But if I could never tell you would fuck that because you'll fuck anything that has a hole in the fucking wall. Me personally, I got some standards, Tim. I could never. I am a virgin to the white tea ladies. I could never. And I'm not trying to be fucked up. I'm pro-black. I love me some chocolate coochie. And that's me. That's my preference, Tim. You like the uncooked liver. And that's just nasty, Tim.
But I think you've already kind of spilled the beans. You basically said you're not going to find any Caucasian woman decent looking.
I don't. No, it's not the.
I asked you, out of all of the thousands and thousands of Caucasian celebrities and women, I said, give me one that you would find decent. You said
don't know them like that, Tim.
You never heard of Scarlett Johansson. You never heard of Meg Ryan. You can't come up with one. You can't come up with one.
I do. I have one, but I don't know her name. I think I don't know her name, but she's very pretty though, and I like her. But she's an ally though. What's her name? She was in what was she in?
That's bad.
Oh no, I don't know the names. I know the faces. Pretty.
Julia Roberts.
Yes. Julia Roberts is pretty, and then that woman that has the black kids, and she adopted black kids. I forgot her name. She's very pretty too. But I don't know the name.
It's like pulling teeth with you. You don't like white people.
I just don't know the names. You tell me give them names. I don't. Yeah, that one. I don't know the names. I can tell.
I think you really have a problem with Caucasian skin.
Did you got a problem with that though?
That's racism. That's racism.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Let me tell you something.
You're racist.
You allow them to call you the N-word and the thing. You allow Gen X to call you colored. But yeah, you don't go off on them. Oh, but God forbid I tell you that woman is ugly and I want to fuck her. You'll be like, oh my God. You're so racist, Tim. You're so racist, Gigi. You're so, get the fuck out of here.
I could find any white guy that makes an exact same statement you did about black women, and you would say they're racist as hell. If they could not,
I don't.
Yeah, what you said was racist. What you said was racist.
White there's a lot of white men that love our chocolate asses. Believe me, I have a whole shitload of them in my inbox right now trying to F me. I would never.
Would you admit you're
I
racist?
don't care. You always try to call my ass out. Oh my God, you're racist. Call the big fat fuck over here, calling you colored and shit. I bet you don't got the balls to do that.
Bullshit! I tell Gen X he racist all the time. Hold on. Gen X actually says I am racist. He actually says it in the comments. He says I am racist.
Jen, you do this. So that's all you do.
Gen X.
I don't. I stand 10 toes down. I do not like white teen maggots. She's a maggot. Now, if she was Julia Roberts or something that's not maggot, I promise you, she's good people. I don't talk bad about our allies and shit. I'm only talking shit about the maggots. You a fucking maggot. I would never.
In the comments, Follow Zeus says this lady is a great example of what's wrong with the world. Says she's a nasty person. You're gross, he says.
Your mama's gross. Should have swallowed you. Shit. Honey, let me tell you something. My inbox stays popping, bitch. What the fuck? If you think I'm so gross, I got maggots in my inbox trying to F me right now. Say, oh, baby, I switch you. Get the fuck out of here. And I got black maggots in my inbox straight up and down their chains just to get some of me. Get the fuck out of here. Never. I wouldn't. You know what? Let me tell you something. I don't like no maggots. Even my own black people that are maggots, they said they could try to F me. No, they would never. No, they would never. I'm a lesbian. Okay?
Paul on YouTube makes a really interesting comment. He says, unfortunately, her stance on racism makes Trump's excusable. Both are wrong. It's a good point.
Shut the fuck up. Go suck your mama. Go suck on your mama. You know what I mean? I'm not racist. I don't like you maggots. I don't. You motherfuckers, you know what? You guys, you believe that motherfucker so much that you threw all of us underneath the bus. You threw black and brown people underneath the bus. You threw women underneath the bus. You threw your kids underneath the bus. So fuck you. Fuck everything about you. So if I say I don't like you ugly asses and you like to go fuck dogs and shit, and I can have a whole thing that you're the interbred motherfucker, I don't give a fuck. Okay? You interbred motherfuckers. You guys don't even know who your mama is. That could be your cousin, for God's sake. Now let's go there. You can go Google your asses and how incest works in the white tea community. How down south you guys will fuck your own daughters. Okay?
I gotta move it on.
So don't come at me with my black ass telling me that, oh, I'm son to this. I call you bitches out.
All right, we'll leave it at that. I gotta move it on.
Tim, on some real shit though, they can never say about our black asses. They can never, Tim, say about our asses were interbred. We don't fuck our mamas. We don't fuck our sisters. We don't fuck our granddaddies. We don't fuck nobody, but we do fuck our own men, but we go outside of our fucking family. Okay? Okay.
I gotta go. Tap the screen. Oh my God, we don't fuck our mamas. Get your boy help your boy with the head mustache. I gotta keep soliciting that. A little low turnout, but thanks some of you folks that have supported the program. Help your boy out, particularly with the TikTok cap and head mustache. That guy in Texas got his daughter pregnant, a black guy. Also, you saying that there is a case of it. It usually though. And I don't like to go down the racial path, but usually that incest stuff is not the African American community. I'm sure it happens, but it is normally not the African. Most of the stories I read, because I actually do on my Facebook page, I post a lot of that, a lot of sex crimes and stuff like that. And thank you, Blue One Banks. I do post a lot of stuff. One of the things that we talk about the LGBTQ community and the notion that they're harmful to children. There's a significantly greater harm to children that gets little to no fanfare in this country. And I'll tell you why I'm saying this, because I actually post news articles almost every day on my Facebook page about this. It is white female teachers. They rape students at an alarming rate. From high school all the way down to elementary school. Almost every day I post a clip of some white female teacher that got arrested or that's been charged with sleeping one of her students. It's an epidemic. I mean, we want to talk about trans, and by the way, they're not all white, but overwhelmingly they are white women. There's some men in the category too, but it's mostly white female women, and they're not like ugly and 60 years old. It's mostly women that are 45 and under. So in some cases, some teachers in their early 20s sleeping with high schoolers, middle schoolers, and elementary school kids. This happens a lot. Just Google teacher sleeps with student. You'll probably get page after page of that. It happens a lot. And we're over here focusing on the notion that transgender are going to be harmful to kids, or the books about transgender and LGBT in schools is harmful. That's the fucking teacher in the front of the class. The teacher in front of the class, way more harmful than anything coming out of the LGBTQ community. Way more. If you had as many stories as LGBTQ members, and I'm not just saying trans, I'm saying lesbian, gay, bi, trans, queer, the whole fucking alphabet. If you had as many of them committing violations as white female teachers, you guys would be walking around with flaming pitchforks looking for them. It's a lot. It is a lot of them that do this. It's like Chris Hansen category quantity. It's a lot of them. You don't hear nothing from the right about this at all. And this is a real event that should be concerning. This ain't, well, we think it might get out of hand if we let them. No, it's happening. We think if the trans they may go this way, or we think if you let them play sports, they may. No, this is happening now. And it's been happening for years. And there's no outcry about it. So I just want to let you guys know, sometimes the culture wars have nothing to do with actually helping kids or helping women. It's just about helping a politician get reelected. Because this should be something should be said about this. Because it happens a lot. Like I said, I've been posting stories on my Facebook page about this. I used to post stories anytime a cop died in the line of duty. I still kind of do that from the Officer Down Memorial page. I always give a tribute. Listen, we talk about cops here, but I don't, favor anybody getting killed in the line of duty. So on my page, I used to always post tributes to officers that lost their lives in the line of duty. And that was happening once or twice a month, because this is all around the country, covering everything from beat officers to postal police to folks that are in, correctional officers, all of that. I would pay a tribute anytime an officer lost their lives in the line of duty, post their picture, their name, where they were serving, all of that. Well, that was happening about once or twice a month, maybe even less in this country. Females abusing kids, I can post a clip like 2-3 times a week of that shit. That's happening a lot. Anyway, let me go back to the box. They doing it in the Catholic Church. Hopefully that's calmed down. But we know that was also something that was out of control in the Catholic Church as well. I am so sorry you are miserable, but you chose it. Carmelo will get more time. Now, he's not going to get more than 35 years. That's at some point. Look, most murderers don't get 35 years. So if you believe Carmelo Anthony is going to walk away with more than, my guess is they'll probably end up offering him another plea deal again. They'll probably, because now that it's pretty clear that prosecutorial misconduct may be on the table, including the judge, I suppose. So it could be a judicial review. I don't know where it's going to go, but it's clear that he didn't get a fair trial, in my opinion. I think it's clear that. I'm not saying he's innocent at all, but he is entitled to a fair trial. You can snatch defeat from the jaws of victory by overdoing it on somebody who's actually guilty of something. Because to me, like I said, he didn't have a right to take the guy's life, but that don't mean you just railroad the guy and certainly portraying the image of Austin Metcalf and hiding the fact that he has a history of racism. That should have came out. It doesn't mean it makes Carmelo Anthony innocent, but that should come out. People need to know that. Let me go back to the box, tap the screen. They are doing it in every church. Yeesh. Google what race does most crime, says follow Zeus. You're not going to get an accurate answer of that, Zeus, because the amount of policing can make you catch more criminals in one area than another. If I put 10 times more cops in your area than in my area, you're going to look like you're committing more crimes than I am, because we may be getting away with shit because we don't have the same amount of policing that you do. All of the studies suggest that African Americans and whites use drugs at the same rate, yet when you look at the incarceration rate for drugs, it's mostly black people. Well, white people are not getting high. There's no study that suggests that at all. They're getting high. They're just some kind of way not getting charged with it. Well, if you're doing random profiling stops, 3 or 4 black guys standing on the corner, and you go and pat them down, you find some drugs. You're not doing those stops in the white community. So that dude done walked home with the product in his pocket and nobody patted him down and he got away with it. Smoked it up and got high and went to bed. The African American is in the police station trying to get a bond. So, you can't just go by who commits the crime, who commits the most crimes when you Google it, because one side is not getting policed the same. And then we can talk about, who gets bail quicker, who gets a fine versus actual punishment. I mean, the system, I don't want to go down that path, but everything about the system is not equal. And it never has been, and it certainly is not now. It's getting better, but it's not equal. What is the name there? It says be free, or what did it say there? SNB for free. Are you there?
I didn't mean to do that, Tim.
Okay.
You can drop me.
All right, fair enough. Thanks for coming up, or thank you for letting me know, rather. Tap the screen, get us on up to 140. You guys are tapping the screen. Thank you. Should we let them play in the WNBA? That's not going to happen. In the comments, justice system is full of DEI for whites. Yeesh. Well, like I said, the justice system, certainly, look, I don't believe that being black is going to guarantee a conviction or being white is going to guarantee an exoneration. But I am going to say that if I am going to have to deal with the system, I'd rather do it as a white person. I think there are 3 avenues of our system that help you negotiate it more so than anybody else. 1, being wealthy. Being wealthy is a huge advantage over being poor, even if they're charged with the same crime. O.J. Simpson, the bus driver, would have spent the rest of his life in jail. Being wealthy was a benefit. In addition to being wealthy, gender makes a difference. If you're going to deal with the justice system, you're better off being a female. Females commit murder just like men do. They don't go to death row like men do. There's plenty of women that murder. I do believe men murder more than women. Men are more violent than women, but being a woman and getting the death penalty is very, very rare. And there's tons of women murderers that get convicted every year. They almost never give them the death penalty. So being a woman, even when I just mentioned women sleeping with their students, a woman committing a sex crime gets treated significantly more lenient than a man committing a sex crime. It's a big, big difference, even though it's the exact same crime. A woman raping a young man compared to a man raping a young woman, big difference, big difference. So being a woman is also a benefit. Being wealthy, being a woman, and of course, as I said, being white helps. None of this is guaranteed, but if we're playing the odds, you would rather be a wealthy white woman than anything else. Looking in the comments, what does it says? Come to Oklahoma. We have several on death row. Okay. All right, Oklahoma it is. Let me go back to a gram of weed in Texas. What about a gram of weed in Texas? Tap the screen. Let me go to the box. I am sorry. Why this is not scrolling. There we go. What does that say here? In the 1910s, millionaires paid over 80% of the money in taxes. Americans built so much. I don't know where that's coming from. Trump is so in our society. You don't belong. Get your ass looking loud. Okay, the grammar is terrible on that. And I don't mind the criticism, but you gotta at least be able to type. So let me go to Stick the Ruler. Good evening, Stick. Welcome to the program. Stick, good evening.
Hey, what's going on, Tim?
Not much at all. Not much at all. What brings you on? What am I getting wrong this evening?
Man, you know what? Normally, you be fluffing.
Oh,
I have a comment. Tonight, man, I think you stood up. I mean, Dan Kyle, we could barely hear him in the background, but you stood up in the paint, man.
Okay. I always stand in the paint. Y'all just don't notice my effort.
Oh, shit. No, sometimes you like Greg Oden when he first came into the league.
Oh.
You just be hurt and injured all the goddamn time sitting on the bench.
Oh, my God. No, listen.
No, but no, seriously though, like MAGA reacts, man. I don't know. Like I heard him switch up what he said, when he said it, how he said it. Like everything he just said was just trying to have an excuse, and I just think he just needs to get that shit up, man. If he was a lawyer, he would lose so many cases. He would get so many people.
Well, he would have co-counsel. He would probably have co-counsel that would advise him.
Man, Trump would have fired his ass 50 times already. Like, yeah, he would have been the new, what's the other lawyer name? The one that go around on TikTok? The Stormy Daniels dude that got mixed up in the Stormy
Michael
Daniels.
Cohen. Now he's back with Trump.
Yeah, he would have been MAGA reacts is the new Michael Cohen for Trump. Yeah, definitely.
Well, Michael Cohen is like, if I can't beat him, join him. So he's trying to get back with Trump. And hope, I mean, look, if he could get back in Trump's good graces, he may get some money. I mean, because Michael Cohen probably is hurting financially after all he went through.
Man, hey, listen, it's Trump's fault. It ain't his fault. It's Trump's fault.
Actually, it's his fault for being with him. I mean, yeah, it's his fault. I believe Michael Cohen likely committed crimes on behalf of Trump.
Yeah, he was a dumbass. It's like all them other dumbasses that they're ready to commit a crime for Trump. They're ready.
They're doing it for the money and power. Yeah, they do. I mean, he was a cleaner. All cleaners commit crimes.
Right. Well, I'll do 2 years, but he'll pardon me and then make sure I get $1.8 billion. So it's okay. Yeah. Man, get the fuck out of here with that shit. You gonna run and jump on the sword for Trump, and he gonna leave your ass on the sword. He ain't gonna.
Maybe not. It could be a quid. I'm gonna tell you something, Stick. It could be a quid pro quo because President Trump, the 34 felonies that's on his record, even though it doesn't matter, just like Michael Cohen is seeking a pardon. He didn't get it from Biden. He's still seeking a pardon because it's affecting him with his jobs and things like that because he has a conviction on his record. It's not affecting Trump, but Trump just would like to have those 34 felonies proved to be false. So Cohen is now suggesting that he was coerced into testifying against Trump in effort to hopefully get, I think that's Alvin Bragg's case. So if he could hurt Alvin Bragg's case and get that overturned, that means the convictions against Trump would drop. And the quid pro quo, if you help me get my convictions dropped, then I'll give you the pardon. So they could be working with each other.
Man, listen, two things can be true at the same time. I'm not denying or confirming that that's a lie or the truth. However, what I will say is this. Whether he do it or don't do it, Trump don't give a damn. He's president. He really don't. He don't care. He's even with the felonies. He don't care. Like
but if you're Michael Cohen at this point, but if you're Michael Cohen at this point, you're not gonna trust Trump to give you the pardon after you do the work. You're gonna demand the pardon first. I'm sure Michael Cohen has learned his lesson on that.
But you ain't hearing me. It don't matter whether he do it or don't do it. Trump don't care. He don't. He's already president. That might have during the election and all of that shit.
Legacy. I disagree. His legacy.
He don't care.
Yeah, he does care. I mean, he's still chasing money. Legacy. He's still chasing money at this point. I mean, he don't need the money either. I mean, Mark Wahlberg is another one. Actor Mark Wahlberg got a felony on his record from back when he was way before Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. He spent a lot of money recently trying to get a judge to overturn that. He didn't need it. He's not on paper. He's not. I mean, that's long gone. He just don't want it on his record. He didn't succeed, by the way. Mark Wahlberg did not succeed.
And we have people that do that all the day, all the time, all day, every day. Get their records expunged.
So that's what Trump is trying to do.
Listen, Trump, no, he's not. He don't care.
I'm telling you, that's
if
what
it gets
that's what's going on.
done. Listen what I'm telling you, Tim. If it gets done, okay, cool. If it doesn't, I don't care. I'm the president already. It did not stop me.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. But
wrapped around my finger.
Yeah. I don't disagree with any of that.
Eat a shit popsicle.
I don't.
If I tell them to if I tell them to take a shit into the ice holders, right, the ice makers, and it's gotta be diarrhea shit, and put it inside the freezer with a stick in it, and then I want you to, once it freezes, I want you to take it out and lick it. They will do it.
Well, let me just say, it doesn't matter. Hold on, hang on. It doesn't matter if he cares or not. It's like, if all I got to do is give a pardon, which costs me nothing, and I can get this shit taken off my record so that it ain't in the history books the way they want it to be, I'll do it. It doesn't matter. You're right. I don't care if it gets done or not, but since it ain't costing me nothing but a pardon signature, I'll do it. So I do believe they may do that.
Listen, I'm going to say, it's hard for me to tell you he don't care when he's telling you he don't care in your face. I'm gonna get $1 billion whether you say it's a crime or not. I'm gonna take this jet whether you think I should or not. I'm gonna take down these plaques even though the African American community is gonna get pissed off and be like I'm a fucking racist. He don't care. It don't matter.
We can have a gentleman's disagreement. I'm not saying he cares, but what I'm saying is if he could get it removed to shame Alvin Bragg and clear up his image, and it doesn't cost him anything to do it, I think he would do it.
It don't cost him nothing because he's using taxpayer money. Right. What are you talking about? It don't cost him nothing now.
So he's going to do it.
So my whole point again, just like the Kennedy Center, it's supposed to be the Kennedy Center, and that alone. It's not supposed to be he taking it over. I don't care. I'm gonna put my name back up there. Matter of fact, at the bottom, I'm gonna say restored by Donald Trump because Biden didn't do shit. Like, this is the type of dude we talk about. What?
Yeah, he's an interesting guy.
Come on, man.
He's an interesting guy.
Am I true? Am I lying?
He's an interesting guy.
Is that true or not?
Yeah. But I disagree with you on him not wanting those felonies removed. I'm pretty sure he wants those removed.
Why does it don't? Matter of fact, the felonies make him better, right?
If he hold on, stick. Hold on, wait a minute. If he's willing to chase fucking Rosie O'Donnell and networks like PBS and The View, he clearly cares about the small stuff. He spends a lot, like you mentioned, the Kennedy Center. He's still chasing, trying to put his name on that. What happened to the he don't care stuff? His legacy is secure. Why would he's putting all that effort into that? I think he cares about this stuff more than you're giving him credit for.
No, he cares about his name being on shit because it's about him. That shit is basically opening discovery. We're going to find out that he did some more shit. So at the end of the day, if I can have 34 felonies and still be president, who gives a shit? And they can't do nothing about it anyway because I got immunity, and anything I did, especially while I was president, I got immunity, and on and on and on. And these motherfuckers are so loyal, they ain't gonna vote against me because right now at this moment, the Republican Party is running every fucking thing, including even when he leaves, even if we get the Senate and the they still got the judicial system. So at the end of the day, that motherfucker don't care. We might end up seeing the judicial system coming out and saying, we grant him this. Just
okay. Let's meet halfway.
Straight to the Supreme Court.
Let's meet halfway and say, even though he don't care, he still wants to have it done. To me, it's like Michael Jordan at the casino playing $1,000 a hand. He don't care about the money, but he still wants to win. He don't care if he loses the hand, but he still wants to win. Trump may not care, because you're right, he can still do everything he wants to do, but he still wants to have it if he can get it.
No, it ain't money. I don't agree with that. Okay. I don't care. I think if it's money, yes. If he can get some money out of it, like he can sue himself again or some shit like that, then he own that. But other than that, if it's just cleaning my record, shit, a clean record ain't what got me here. Me being a dirty ass motherfucking businessman, me being a piece of shit businessman, me being a dirty ass, lying ass husband, all of that shit got him promoted. Me being a freak, pedophiles and anything else going along with it, that's what got him there. It turned these psychotic white men on. This is an alpha male to them. They are cavemen, and they are full of goddamn Neanderthal DNA. So they're violent by nature. They don't take accountability. It's either our fault or they woman's fault. One of the two. Yeah. And then the woman, she's psychotic because guess what she do? She plays Karen. You got a bird watcher, black man. Oh, he's doing this to me and he's doing that to me and he's got it all on camera. This stupid bitch goes to jail because she's being a Karen. So they got that DNA in them. That's the shit that gangsta grandma be talking about. However, I'm saying it to where it's clear to you.
Yeah, well, it's not, because I know Trump likes to win and he likes to defeat the liberals. And having those 34 felonies removed from his record would be a huge win against the liberals. It ain't got nothing to do with caring, as you keep saying. It's all about just saying, I won. So, and he likes to win. Trump is petty than a motherfucker. So why you're making it sound like he ain't that petty to want this stuff removed? The guy is petty as hell. I absolutely, and this doesn't cost him any effort to do it. I would do it.
Listen, I'm gonna say it again. It's just like with anything. If I can win $500, but I'm walking into the casino and I find $5, it's a win, right? Because it wasn't I found it, right? That's what you're saying. You're saying he really wants to get the gusto. The gusto was the 2.2 billion because he went for that first. The Qatar plane, that was a gusto. He went for that first. It was money motivated. All of that other shit, just like you said, the voter fraud, nobody's went to jail. All of the other shit that he's talking about, the people, the trans is playing in sports, where are they at? Why can't I find them? Why is there no other story but one that fucking Gen X keeps promoting? Like, what are we doing?
Let me give you a comment. Let me give you a comment. I want you to give me your. This is Florida Blondie. She says, "I feel sorry for you all." Now, I guess she's referring to you and I, plus some of the left-leaning commenters. But she says, "I feel sorry for you all. Must be so horrible to be so miserable and hateful. I went to the MAGA side because they are open arms and like to talk, not be rude, not be rude, not be rude." What say you?
Yeah, if they can call you nigger every time they talk to you, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if they can elbow you as you walk up the fucking the steps in the damn stadium, yeah, I'm pretty sure. If you're a black woman and you got a backpack on and you walking through and they pushing you from side to side on each, oh yeah, they're very energetic. They will welcome you with elbows and spit on you, and they will call you nigger.
Okay, damn. Are you trying to get me taken down? Okay.
No. I'm just listen.
Okay. Don't do that. Don't do that.
So I'm just saying, they jump on people's lives. They do that dumbass shit, and that's who MAGA is. MAGA is the South shall rise again, and right now that's what they ass is trying to do. Like they got some Viagra in them or some shit. They trash.
Wait. All of MAGA is not like that.
Man, if your name starts with MAGA, like MAGA reacts, you trash. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. You don't do no research. You voted for a bitch. You voted for a pedophiles. You voted for a motherfucking horny ass old dude that likes people to sit on their lap and shit. And you voted for somebody that said he's have sex with his daughter. You voted for somebody that said told a 10-year-old in 10 years I'll be dating you. You're voting for a man that said on the bus I can touch the pussy and all that. This is what you voted for.
You also voted for a capitalist and not a socialist. You voted for somebody that's not going to let biological males play in sports. You voted for somebody that's going to secure the border. What about that?
I say this. Since you don't want to vote for a socialist, don't call the police. You don't want to vote for a socialist. If you got a mansion and your house is burning down, do not call the fucking fire department. If your Meemaw is sick, do not call the ambulance service. Yeah, don't call the operators at all, because all of that is fucking social. And guess what? If you're an old fucking boomer that thinks that that you shouldn't participate in socialism, let me hold your motherfucking Social Security and get at me too. Like, don't fucking involve yourself in it. You don't like socialism, stay your ass over there, stay the fuck away from me. And for motherfuckers just like what's his name? Commerce or Doomsday or whatever you want to call his ass, stay your motherfucking don't give me shit ass away from me too. I don't want to give you nothing either. I don't want my tax money to help you with anything that you got going on. Stay your ass over there.
How about this? Your boy you commented on, MAGA React says, you voted for a man who smells kids on camera, a woman who wants to be interviewed for more than 30 minutes. You said you voted for Biden who sniffs kids on camera.
How does any of that make your light bill high? How does any of that make your gas high? How does any of that make your groceries high? How does any of that affect you at all? That he's smelling a little kid that maybe brought back his grandchild or some shit. I don't know. Maybe because she couldn't talk. Maybe because she couldn't talk for 30 minutes. Well, how does that affect you? You went home and like, oh shit just fucked up. She can't talk for 30 minutes. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. You motherfuckers with TDS, you know what TDS is? That's the fucking trans derangement syndrome. Ooh. That's what you motherfucking MAGA people got. Ooh. Trans derangement syndrome. You got the true TDS because y'all bring that shit up when it don't even fucking matter. What's, like you said earlier, what's a woman? My mama. What's a woman? My sister. What's a woman? The people that have kids, motherfucker, stop asking us them dumbass questions. Just go back to school if you don't know what a woman is, if you gotta ask me.
All right. Stick, definitely the ruler. Appreciate you coming through.
All right, Tim, have a good one, sir.
You too, always a pleasure. He gave me credit. He said I held up in the paint. Finally, no fluffing. There we go. Finally, Stick is not an easy character. So to get Stick to say I held up, I'll take that as a badge of a beating honor. Tap the screen, get the likes up to 160. A lot of you guys are showing the program some love on the likes. By the way, if you're watching us on YouTube, show your boy some love with a subscription. Some of you folks do subscribe. I want to get more of you because I hope to get some MAGA. I want to get more MAGA. I want to get more Republicans. I know you guys are now two separate groups. You know, a year or two ago, MAGA and conservatives were basically all one, but now traditional conservatives are starting to separate from MAGA. And it's, look, I understand it's because Trump is not operating he's not operating on conservative principles, but you don't have to be a traditional conservative. You can still be MAGA and we'll bring you up. We'll take your calls. We give you plenty of respect, plenty of time, just like the liberals do. I know a lot of folks, well, you only have liberals on the show. That's the only people that mostly call, but we don't ban MAGA, conservatives or independents, Tea Party, you name it, whatever the fuck you are, we believe in free speech. We believe in zero censorship. Unfortunately, in the current environment, because President Trump has not lived up to many of his campaign promises, he's in a hot seat. He is the one being criticized now. And there's nothing I can do about it in terms of I give MAGA plenty of space, just like I give the liberals to make their own statements. But MAGA does not like being anywhere where Trump is being criticized. It's hard not to be critical of him in this current environment with him failing on many of his campaign promises. If you're not criticizing Trump right now, you're not judging him fairly. I had a lot more MAGA viewers when I was criticizing Biden's economy. I had a lot of African Americans that did not like me hammering President Biden, but fact is, he was saying the economy was much better than the perception that people were seeing at the grocery stores and things like that. That's happening now under Trump. And my same beloved MAGA that I enjoyed talking to towards the end of the Biden administration that had no problem hammering Biden for that dismal economy, all of a sudden making excuses for why it continues to exist under Trump. And when folks do not accept those excuses, they leave the program. I can't control that. That's not free speech. That's not standing on principle. I didn't do it with Biden. I'm not going to do it with Trump. Anyway, looking in the comments, don't you all just live your life like work a job, enjoy internet? We have such a good life in America. Florida Blondie, everybody doesn't have a good life in America. And I certainly don't recall you saying that when Trump was president. There's no way in hell when Biden was president, you weren't talking about everybody has such a good life in America. You guys are posting stickers on gas pumps and grocery shelves of Biden saying, I did that. You guys made it sound like you could barely afford to eat. The price of eggs was in your conversation every goddamn day. Now the same economic conditions exist under Trump. In some cases, they've gotten worse. And now you're talking about we all live such a good life in America. That you are the example of what I just said before I read your comment. You were not saying that under Biden. I absolutely am sure you were not saying that same stuff under the Biden economy. Now that we got Trump in there and the economy has not gotten any better, well, you're living a good life. What the fuck? God. Anyway, tap the screen in Handsome Conservative. You said, so to answer your question, Tim, I think it's going to be a red wave. Only way I'm going to believe it's going to be a red wave is if there is some sort of election interference. It's not that I don't think Republicans can win. I'm going to tell you right now, a red wave doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. I know, considering I've been talking to MAGA since Trump came on the scene. We've been on here doing it for at least almost 6 years now, but I was doing it, calling into Fox News Talk, talking to everybody from Brian Kilmeade. Who else did I talk to? O'Reilly left in 2017, but I used to call in and talk to O'Reilly sometimes, just debating back and forth. I wasn't nobody special. He wouldn't recognize me, I'm nobody special, but I used to call into the show and debate with them folks. And I'll tell you something. The reason they voted for Trump is not what he's doing right now. So it would make no sense for folks who voted for a better economy, no more wars, lower gas prices, all the things Trump campaigned on, to go to the midterms and say, we want more of what's going on right now. The red wave doesn't make sense. It's not that I'm bashing Trump. I'm simply saying it makes no sense for there to be a red wave in this current environment, not to mention Trump's poll numbers are at historic lows. There is just nothing on the horizon to suggest a red wave is going to happen. Nothing. So unless there's some kind of election interference or some kind of voter improprieties or something, I don't see the red wave. And I would say I see it if I did. So I'm not just saying that because I lean left or what. I don't see it. I don't see what's going on in our current state that makes people say, I want more of this. I mentioned the economy. I mentioned gas prices. I didn't even get around to the war. Nobody knows when that's going to end. How much information do you need to get from Trump only to find out the next day it didn't come true or it's not true before you say, I just don't want this anymore? Why would you still want more of that? I mean, if you give Trump another 2 more years in office, what do you think is going to happen with Iran? Do you feel confident? He's already told you he wants Cuba. I mean, do you want more war? He's already said Cuba's next. I mean, do you want ongoing wars for the rest of his term? Because that's what he's promising. I just don't believe the red wave is coming. I know why MAGA voted for Trump. The ones who voted based on principle, they are dissatisfied with President Trump. The ones that voted for Trump, yeah, they'll go with Trump no matter what he does. The folks who are still supporting Trump, most of them are people who voted for Trump, the man. They did not vote for Trump principles or policies. They voted for Trump, the man. And when I say voting for Trump, the man, I mean, it doesn't matter what he does. I'm going to stick with him. The people who voted for President Trump based on his policies and principles, many of them have abandoned him because he's not delivering on his policies. The people who are still saying he's the greatest president ever and all of that shit, yeah, them folks who voted for Trump, the man. Because you could have told MAGA 3 years ago, if Trump wins in 2024, we're going to be at war with Iran at least 6 to 8 months or more, and it's going to be looking like it's never going to end. The price of groceries are not going to come down. In fact, they may go up. Gas prices are going to be $4 a gallon on average. Even they would have said you're fear mongering. You would not have been able to convince MAGA at all that America would be where it is right now in 2024. They would have said you're just a liberal fearmonger. So anybody that's telling you that Trump is the best president ever, they voted for Trump the man. They did not vote based on any policies. Let me go back to the box, tap the screen, and not worried about Muslims blind. We heard the Muslim thing is kind of comical. I'll leave that at that. Let me go to Travelman. Good evening, Travelman. Welcome to the program. I think you brought him up. Or did we get Marco? Marco, we don't need to support higher fuel prices, groceries, and medicines all cost America more. True. Why would somebody say you need to support? Yeah, of course, I agree with you 100% on that. I wish you would start talking about Ukraine or Iran. That would be nice. And in fact, while you're mentioning that, John Bolton is on News Nation, says U.S. readies massive new Iran sanctions. Really? Is there anybody that believes sanctions on Iran is going to work? We've been sanctioning Cuba most of our lives. They didn't bow down. Iran is not going to bow down to America based on sanctions. It's just not going to happen. I mean, we did talk about the Ukraine conservative, that being North Korea is now going to send potentially as many as 50,000 North Korean soldiers to help Russia. Right after Trump talked about how great of a relationship he has with Kim Jong-un. To me, what Kim Jong-un is doing is embarrassing President Trump, because we consider North Korea as an ally. Or better yet, we consider Ukraine as an ally. So if they're talking about sending 50,000 troops to fight the Ukraine, then North Korea is taking an anti-U.S. position. Right after Trump claimed that they have a good relationship. To me, what North Korea is doing is disrespectful to Trump.
To its people as it endures yet another wave of Russian attacks. A senior Ukrainian official says Vladimir Putin may ask North Korea's Kim Jong-un for up to 50,000 more troops to boost the Russia war effort. Well, that's on top of the 8,500 already in Russia. The official says the current North Korean contingent includes a drone unit that could play a role in attacks inside Ukraine. Nick Payton-Walsh is back with us this hour.
Good relationship with North Korea, and they doing that. What happened to under Trump? We're more respected and feared and all this shit worldwide. It does not sound like Kim Jong-un is respecting us at all. Anyway, looking in the comments, Putin used military for attack. Trump doing the same should be defense only, not standover tactics. I don't quite get what you're saying there, Paul. You had to clear that one up. Russia also said if things don't change, they will use nuclear weapons on the UK. That ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna. Just like people want Trump to use nukes on Iran. Once you do that, you open the door for everybody to do it. That's not gonna happen. I don't believe that's gonna happen at all. Using nukes on these countries. What just happened on TikTok? Let's talk Peter Pan. Did my live just go down? Don't know what just happened on TikTok. TikTok, let me see if it comes back. I don't know what happened, folks. The live went down and came back up, so no clue what just happened. Looking in the comments, it took no, I put them in there. We'll try it again. Don't know what happened. It took me off for a quick minute. We'll try it one more time. Bring up a guest. Well, it's dinner time, and if you all were here, I would give you dinner. I would invite you to dinner. What are you cooking in Florida, Blondie? Are you a good cook? Mr. Magic, good evening.
What's up, dude?
Not much at all. What brings you on this evening? What am I getting wrong?
Oh, you pretty much on point. I gotta agree with Stig. You on point today.
Oh,
you on point.
Finally, huh? Finally, it took some time for you guys to get it, huh?
Hey, and I agree with the woman too. The one Trump got. She ain't bad looking at all.
Thank you. So Gangsta Grandma was wrong. That what is her name? Natalie, whatever. Trump's new assistant. She don't look that bad.
Right. She all right. I mean, she'll work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She'll work. Not Trump. I can't deal with Trump, but I can deal with her. I don't deal with white men. I just don't deal with them. Too much cockiness.
they lie, like straight to all this lying and thinking you know it or don't know shit. Don't know shit. I mean, I don't do it. I don't do it. I just don't.
All white men?
Let me put it like this. I never met one who's trying to be competitive with you that's not that way. If it's in a competitive situation, they all know it all and don't know shit. Don't know shit.
I know a lot of good white guys. I don't know. I can't say the same. I mean, I know, I know good and bad people of all races. I mean, I know some black folks that'll take your last dollar from you, and I know some people that'll help you. And I've had white guys that have done things that have been beneficial to me, and I've had folks do things that have not been beneficial. So I can't judge them just based on skin color.
I got destroyed young, man. My thing with white men was destroyed as a child.
I'm curious, what happened?
Man, we used to get pulled over. I kind of went over it the other day with you.
Yeah, you did.
The police just pull us over, man. Just a constant harassment. I mean, it's like when you grow up, you just
But is it all just law enforcement though? Because law enforcement is a special category.
It ain't law enforcement. It's all of them. I mean, I'm in construction my whole life. Since I was 19, I've been running my business since I was 19. All of them. You can't tell them nothing, man. You can't tell them nothing, man. I can't stand them. I can't handle them. I just like straight talk. Could you imagine working with straight talk? I bet his wife gets hell. I bet his wife gets. Could you just imagine being on the drive trying to tell him how to do something, and he don't know it. You trying to tell him how to do it, and he stay telling you, "Well, man, the MAGA this and all this goddamn shit." I mean, please, man, I can't handle them. I just don't. I really. I don't like them. I don't like them. I used to work around them all the time.
What part of the country are you in?
Hold on. I used to find my own room. First thing I used to do was go find my own room, man. I used to call it the boom boom room. And I used to just stay away from it, put my music on, and we wasn't working. I was in my own place. We talked about it. I'm in Detroit. Yeah. I'm in Detroit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, listen, like I said, I've certainly had some issues with, white men in my working history, but I've had issues with black men too. So, I mean, I think it is people see stuff with more emphasis when it's somebody that doesn't look like them. Like, if a black person was going around robbing folks or mistreating other black people, we as blacks are not going to give it the same attention if a white guy did the same thing. We would notice it and criticize, and we would probably use what that person was doing to mark up or stereotype the whole race. Kind of like what I said about what they're doing to the Haitians with the cats and dogs. All you need to see is one person doing it, and you're going to try to suggest that they all do this. But no matter how many African Americans we see doing something, we don't mark up the whole African American community with it. We actually separate it and hold that one person accountable for doing it. But when a white person does it, we're painting the whole white community with it.
Well, I don't know. We sit and laugh and joke, and I say a joke, it'd be funny, man. I be dying laughing. They don't even look at it. It funny. They didn't get it. But they say jokes, they be just rolling in the aisle. So in other words, they don't dance to my music. They don't sing my songs. We just don't get along.
There are plenty of white people that dance to hip hop. That like R&B and all of that shit. R. Kelly could have had every white girl he wanted. I'm just simply saying you got to get out. I'm sure you're in Detroit. I'm sure any concert or performer that come there are plenty of white people that are showing up to that shit.
Yeah.
Especially the women.
Yeah.
The white women love us.
I deal with the women, but they're dangerous. But they're dangerous.
Explain that.
Okay, I will. I don't trust them. It's like I can can know them. I can talk to men. I just don't even have the time of day for them. If I never even see another white man a day in my life for the rest of my life, I'll be fine.
That's horrible.
I know it's pretty much, but I don't know. I just phase them out, man. All that MAGA reacts, all that strong talk. So you know what it's not. You know what it's like. I'm gonna give you an example of what I'm saying. It's like the day we and you was talking. Now the one guy was saying so much about this Sharia law, and I bet he live in Florida. I bet he live thousands of miles from goddamn place. So who is the racist when it comes to this? These people over here doing their thing, ain't bothering nobody. But here you are down in Florida, just completely irate over what somebody's doing in Dearborn, Michigan. I mean, that's racism. I mean, I can't take people like that. A person like that, I can't take them.
Well, I gotta say, while I do also agree that some of the comments you're saying about white women and white men sound racist, but you're right. The way the right is talking about Muslims, there's nothing but hate and racism in that. I do see it there as well. You're right. You're down in Florida or you're in some other part of the country, and all you are talking about is Sharia law. Like, there is no chance of Sharia law taking place in your area, but you're all over. You got motherfuckers literally going to Dearborn, Michigan to fuck with them.
Right. I mean, that's not, they talk about, that's the racism. That's the white man that I can't take.
That's hate. That's hate.
I can't take that. I just even if you just think like that, I can't take you. Man. You know, even if I don't, so even that kind of thinking, man, don't do me no good. Leave me alone. I'm serious. Just leave me alone. I don't have nothing to say to you. I mean, just the thinking like that. That MAGA reacts and all that crazy shit he talking. I mean, he just worried about everybody in America. Everybody in the United States he's worried about. Leave them goddamn people alone.
Yeah.
I mean, leave them damn people alone. I mean, they ain't bothering you.
Yeah, I can't speak on that. That part of it, I'll agree. That part of it is hate. But do you think it's coming from the president though?
I think it's coming from white people. I think it's racism. I think that is the form. That's a byproduct of racism. I mean, when you are racist, that's what you give off, and that's what I can't take. I can't take it. I'm too old for it. Ain't no age. I mean, racism is bad at any